I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gargano Show!
Good morning, everybody, from the Xfinity Studios. It's Kickoff Eve. This is the Anthony Gargano Show, presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Oh, welcome in, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it is Kickoff Eve. Don't we love Kickoff Eve? Don't we just love it?
I love Eves.
Yeah, I do. Is there something off? We missing the side rail?
No, there's nothing off. I
think
changed the countdown to Kickoff Eve.
Okay, God, I like Kickoff Eve.
Yeah.
I like Kickoff Eve.
No, everything's normal.
Oh, I thought there was a sidebar.
No.
Okay, don't mind me. I got football in the brain. I've watched so much sports that I think I'm seeing things like, oh, I need like a side act.
Where's the scoreboard? Where's the countdown? Where's the timer?
I just cannot wait. Like, my mind is so ready for this whole thing. Kickoff Eve 2025. I want to go through a lot of things today with this team, right? Because tomorrow we're going to get excited for the game. It's going to be more, of a rah-rah day, and we'll look at Eagles-Cowboys, what we expect. Today I want to kind of look at the season, right? Because we're starting the season. So let's look at the season and kind of self-scout. The coaches do that all the time. They look at and every 4 weeks, they self-scout. What do we see going into it? What are our weaknesses? How would teams exploit us? So right off the bat, when you look at this team, I mean, obviously, they're still the best team in the NFC. I think the Packers are good, right? I would put the Packers and Lions in that next grouping. We'll see about the Rams, and we'll see about Tampa Bay. So if I want to go tiers, I have the Eagles on the top tier. And then the second tier is Green Bay, Detroit. Third tier is Tampa, the Rams, Niners because of their schedule, and the Vikings because they have an unknown at quarterback, right? And Atlanta. I'll put that would be the NFC tiers that I would look at. But clearly, the Eagles are on the top tier. Now, what do we know weakness-wise? We know safety and quarterback. Now, we'll see about Makuba and, how Makuba does. I think he's going to be fine. The other cornerback spot is probably going to be a worry, I'm sure. But I think you have enough back there with Cooper and Quinyon to negate it, where it's not going to be a death knell. Like we've seen before where 2 spots or 3 spots in the secondary buried you. But this team is such a good tackling team, right? Like the hallmark of those early early 2020s, even during the Super Bowl, their defense wasn't that good. They had a good front, but they didn't really tackle that well in the linebackers and secondary. This defense is a great tackling defense. And we're going to see Jahad Campbell and Zach Bond side by side, right? They're so good up the middle between Fletcher and then you got Quinyon, you got Zach Bond and Jahad, and then Cooper, Reed. They're really good middle. And you want to be really good on the middle. And then you fill in with Quinyon, who I think is going to have a great year. And it's going to be, the other weakness would be, you have enough edge depth, right? You have enough to get pressure on the quarterback. Offensively, I mean, I don't know. I know you got a first-time starter in Steen. I'm not really worried about it with him in that line. It's a great line. I don't really see much to concern. It's the same offense you had last year, and I don't know. I don't see any real concerns about it. There's nothing that I go, early in the season, the offense lagged a little bit. The only real worry to me is injuries, right? We know this team struggles without A.J. Brown. And if you lost Brown or Barkley, that would be catastrophic for any length of time, right? Other than that, when you look at this team, it's a terrific team. They were, and I heard an argument. I was listening this morning when I was driving in. I was my boy Chunis, and they were arguing about whether or not this team was an all-time type of team last year. And I think clearly they were. Like by the end of the season, like they dominated Washington in the NFC Championship game, and they blew out a team that was going for a three-peat. Like they just blew them out of the building. And you could tell me the Rams game was close, but I mean it was a blizzard, and it wasn't like they came back. And then the Packer game, that was never really in doubt. So I know the offense had a couple spells during that game, but I look at this team and I go, this team is a terrific, well-built team, and it's young. Like it's got upside to it. It's so well coached. One of the keys to this Eagles team is just how well coached they are. Between Stoutland along the line, and then Fangio, and he's got a great staff. So they're just a well coached team. They're buttoned up. To me, when I look at the weakness, how I would play the Eagles is defensively. I would again force Jalen to throw the ball. I'll do whatever I can to stop Barkley, and then say Jalen beat me. Now he's done it, so from an Eagles standpoint, I'm like, all right, whatever you're showing me, I have a recipe to counter. Good morning, VG.
Good morning.
What do you think? I'm so excited for this.
I'm excited. It's
Kickoff eve.
I mean, I have been saying it's a little weird going in as the kings, the studs, the favorites. I'm getting used to it, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I look at them, and they deserve to be the kings of the league.
Yeah, when you look at the landscape, there's no team better, but I mean, there are question marks. I mean, D-line, how good was Milton Williams? I think he's a little overrated. We'll see.
I'm not worried about the interior.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, it's a question mark. I'm not worried, but it's like, all right. I think
I'm worried more about the edge depth.
Sure. Well, they don't have any edge depth. So, I mean, that's a concern. And
QB2,
I think it's going to take Jihad a couple games to, get up to speed. I think it could be similar.
But at that point, like at that position,
yeah,
that position is, you could get acclimated pretty quick. He seems pretty acclimated already. So, there might be a couple coverage stuff. We'll see. But, from what I hear, listen, we didn't even expect him on the field.
I know. It's like a gift.
We didn't expect him on the field.
The NFL didn't expect him on the field.
Right. Landon Dickerson to be on the field either.
Yeah, he was clear. He played full practice.
Full practice today.
Yeah,
he's ready to go.
Let's go.
He's a beast.
Yes, he is.
That kid's an athlete.
We heard about the injury concerns coming in, but it don't matter. He'll play through them.
Nicked up, whatever it is. He's ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, CB2, I think it's going to take, similar to last year, we had a new coordinator. It took a few games for them to get on speed, and there's enough new players. It's going to take them a few games, everyone to get on speed and get caught up. I don't think what we see tomorrow, I think is going to be good and good enough to smash the Cowboys, but I think the defense by week 3 is going to be much better than they are tomorrow. I think that's a given just because you have so many new players.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious about Patullo's play calling. I mean, I am, because they're going to stack the box and see how they adjust.
Yeah, I guess there should be some latitude left for that. I mean, it is such a veteran offense.
It's just amazing
that like you're stacked. Like you kind of know what to do. Like the defense will dictate what you call. Like you're still going to run the ball, even if you crowd the box. Like I'm still going to run it, but
challenge accepted. See if they can stop.
Yeah, but but what you're going to show me is how I'm going to try to exploit you.
It's a fascinating thing that, what's it been, 4 new offenses in 4 years? Is it 5?
Geez.
Yeah. But it's a whole thing.
It's the same offense, but it's in different.
They all put their own wrinkle on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Yeah, I am curious to see how the offense looks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm expecting, I don't know, early on, again, they haven't played.
Well, I think the first quarter is going to be sloppy for both teams.
They haven't played. Yeah. Again, the September is a glorified preseason. It's a preseason that counts, right? Like you need to get acclimated into it. I think people put entirely too much stock into how you start. Like, as long as you're not starting 0-4, like, I really don't care. It's a 17-game season now, and it's always been about how you play in November, December, and now January.
Yeah, but we need a blowout tomorrow. That'd be great.
Well,
I mean, that's what
we're
seething for that tomorrow.
I feel you, but I'm talking about it more from another level, which is, there's so much angst early because you're living through it September, but in reality, it doesn't mean. What it means is you need to be firing in November and December.
Yeah, but you know how we are. It's September. We're going to be frothing. It's the Cowboys. It's the first game of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're going to be sloppy and have a close game. But if they are, people on Friday are going to be all right. But we're going to be good. We're going to be rolling.
I'm just giving you my own slant. Like, there's nothing that could happen that would, other than an injury, that would worry me. Like, I believe, put it this way, they're the best Eagles team that I've seen going into a season.
Yeah.
I mean, other than maybe.
I don't know anyone even close to them. I got to tell you.
I mean, 0-4, they were really good, but they didn't really have the defensive chops, and Barkley AJ are greater than B West TO.
Clearly better. And I think you have to put in the context of the landscape out there. Lions got offensive line question marks. They got 2 new coordinators. I'm not a huge Goff believer, so I think right now the Eagles, the separation they have,
well, I think
is substantial.
I think the Packers are good.
You think they're better than the Lions?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I think that with the Parks' trade, they needed a playmaker on that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty good by committee with sacks. So I think they're really. I think they're. I told you I had the Eagles here, and then the Packers here, at the top of tier 2, and then the Lions at the bottom of tier 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I don't love Jordan Love, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
I like
him.
I like Dan Campbell. I think he's a X factor for me. I think he's a better coach.
You like Dan Campbell?
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
Well,
the NFL needs lunatics, and he's a lunatic.
But actually, the Packers are really well coached.
I know.
They're a good team, dude. Like, you got to trust me on that.
They're
good. They're good.
I hear what you're saying. I half believe.
They're well coached. They're a good team.
Yeah, we'll see. They're nice.
Matthew Golden, who's a stud receiver.
Hey, let's just say I'm at Bet Parks right now. We're up to 8.5. We just popped another half point from yesterday.
8.5.
Yes.
Wow, people are just rolling.
I gotta see if I can get. I gotta get a money percentage on these bets.
The birds. Well,
there's a big move coming off 7, and now it's like a rocket.
Well, listen, there's no difference between 7.5 and 9.5.
Let's see what this money's at. You got 75% of the money on the birds.
Yeah, well, why would you? How could you bet?
It's America's team. America should be all over the Dallas. Just like whenever the Yankees play, no matter how bad they are, the Yankees always have more bets because they're America's team.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait to annihilate America's team on national TV when everyone's all amped up for the season. Every football fan, every fantasy player, every degenerate gambler is going to be watching this game tomorrow night.
Oh,
we're going to embarrass the Cowboys.
It's the whole world. Well, yes. It'll be the largest. It'll be one of the highest viewed games of the year.
I'd be curious. It might be the highest viewed game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the new season. Everybody's in.
Yeah.
Other than the playoffs, I mean, this will be it.
Yes. Fuss comes in taking shots at you already.
What'd you say?
He said it's 2 days till Cuz gets to watch his favorite team.
2 days.
Chargers play.
Oh, stop. My favorite team, the Chargers. I don't like the Chargers.
Thanks, Butts. Thanks for the tweet.
My God. God forbid you look at stuff objectively.
My man, 2 days until Cuz gets to watch his favorite QB coach combo.
And by the way, if I was going to root for anybody in that game, it would be Spags and Andy. Come on. All right, let's go over the schedule. All right?
Win.
Let's look at it. I want you to, okay, seriously, take your hat off.
I'm not taking my hat off. I'll blind people with the glare from the lights.
He's going undefeated.
You know what I'm saying?
Everyone put your shady rays on. I'm taking my hat off.
If we're supposed to self-scout.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Let's self-scout. and try not to just go WWW. Like,
Listen, me not to be a fan guy on the eve of the season. Yeah, I'm going to be a
that's tomorrow.
beat writer guy today.
I'm not asking you to be beat writer guy.
Mike G. Lose. Maybe win. Careful.
Michael go, yeah, maybe. All right.
Yeah.
No, but I just let's look at it objectively. Let's see kind of where we stand.
I will try my best.
I had them going. Jeez, when we did the preview with Bo and EJ, I think I had them at 11 or 12.
I think you were 12-5.
Yeah. So, and I think 12 is a good number. It's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
But you know, Andrew, I look at it and I just think I love this team. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
All right. So with Dallas, we believe in. At Kansas City.
It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
I think a loss.
We just beat them by 75 points at the end of last season.
It's different time, different year, different players. I think they lose.
Now I did it, so I had a 12-5. So I'm going to refrain. I want to see how you guys come out.
Yeah.
So you have a W.
Also, the beginning of the year, weird things happen. They're 1-1.
Okay, here it is. Then you got the Rams here in a rematch of the snow game.
2-1. 2-1.
You all right?
Yeah.
How about you?
It's a win.
It's a win. And then week 4 is at Tampa, which has always been. It's amazing how we go to Tampa the fourth game of the season.
Every time. Can they get over the hurdle of beating Tampa
I
in
had
Tampa?
a loss here.
I'm going to be 2-2.
Yeah, I had a loss here.
That's a win.
So he's not even going to. Well, should I just put 17 out?
No.
Remember, they were 2-2 last year to start the season, still won the Super Bowl. So, you know.
Yeah, I don't feel that if they're 2-2, the sky's not falling.
You're in good shape.
Right. Last year, 2-2, the way they looked, and you know the coach melting down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing that a year ago, just 1 year ago, he was hanging by a thread.
I know.
Hanging by a thread, has to shave his head. Like, it was bonkersville.
Yeah, like
a hair thread.
Like I believe. Like, if you ask me right now, there's a parallel universe where Nick gets fired.
Yeah.
And Belichick is coaching the Eagles.
Oh, thank God.
It's a parallel universe. Mm-hmm. You know, if you believe in the many parallel universes, that is one outcome. Because if you remember at the time, Belichick was living at NFL Films.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Belichick was also kind of putting little taking shots.
Yeah, and he was in touch with Howie and those guys.
Yeah. So if you ask me, that was a very real situation. That if Nick, and I heard that, you know, they were waiting for another loss or something bad to happen, and then that would have been it. And if that would have happened,
no Super Bowl.
Belichick would have been here.
I know.
With his girlfriend.
Yes. Oh, right.
No.
Chaos.
We would have to live.
That,
God forbid. We would have been the center of that drama. Oh my God.
That woman, she would not be able to handle. She would not handle this.
That's a horrible universe.
Oh my God, could you?
Her on the field during games?
Oh no.
No way.
She'd be booing.
No way.
People would be booing her.
Oh, that would have been horrible. That would have been absolutely terrible. Oh my God. Thank God Nick figured it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank God.
Keep shaving that head.
All right, home Denver. We got Andrew. That's good. That's a good game.
I got that as a loss.
You have a loss to Denver. All right. Why? You all Sean Payton up?
They're just, you know, 5-0 is hard to go, and they're half decent. They're a pesky squad.
I don't understand that hype.
They got good defense.
I know they have the good defense, but I don't
think Bo Nix is going to be a decent QB this year.
I like Bo. I do. I think they're well coached. I don't know. Again, it's a home game. It's an early game. You know what's so weird is that you got the 8:20 start tomorrow night, and then you have the 4:25 start on next Sunday against the Chiefs. Like, it's not a prime time. And then you got 3 1:00 games in a row.
How are the Rams and Birds not a 4:00 game?
I don't understand that, honestly. That's a great game.
I mean, just for Rams
Dude,
fans, they got to get up at
Dude, how
8
about
a.m.
Tampa? Eagles-Tampa, is that a 4:00 game? That's another sexy matchup.
That's strange.
I don't get it. And then you have the Thursday night game.
Yeah, that's a primetime game. The Giants.
I know.
That should be
That's the Amazon game.
Yeah, I know. That should be a 1:00 game.
That's a Herbie game, right?
Yeah. That's a win.
That's a blowout.
That's a blowout. Yeah.
Then at Minnesota, they're the biggest mystery of the league.
That's a win.
JJ McCarthy against Fangio, 4 interceptions, win.
Yeah.
So wait a second. You're
undefeated at this point.
I am not. They got a loss to the Broncos.
You got
Oh, you got the Broncos. Okay.
all right,
You got one more loss.
So you're
than me,
6-1.
bro.
I'm 5-2.
One more loss.
and then back to the Giants. This time at home because the Thursday night game's on the road. This is at home.
Win.
Yeah, that's why. The Giants are going to be improved. They're not beating the Eagles.
I had them sweeping the Giants and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get them in a spot where I could see one of the games being close, but I don't see any threat to lose. Now you have your bye, and then after the bye is a great game. ESPN, Monday Night Football, Eagles, Packers from Lambeau. This is a great, great football game.
Win.
Yeah, off the bye.
I think a win. Yeah.
That's a tough game.
It's going to be close.
I mean,
It's going to be a close, tough game.
Is that a loss on your?
I got to go back to what I did. I had them. I think I had them losing the game. Home Detroit. This is a fun schedule. This is the 8:20 Sunday night game. So they play Monday night in Green Bay, and then Sunday night in Philadelphia. Short week on prime time, though.
I want to say win, but I'm feeling loss.
If it was in Detroit, I'd worry. Detroit back-to-back road games. That's a loss. That's a win for us.
So you got win-win, all right?
Win, yeah.
At Dallas, right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Kelly
Sunday
Green's
before
Dallas.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, come on.
Win.
Yeah.
Then you got the Bears on Black Friday. That's going to be that's a wild game. Black Friday.
It's gonna screw up my festivities too.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I don't even want to think about it. I want to enjoy. I want this thing to slow down because now that we're here, I want it to go really, really slow because
Summer fast.
He's in fast
like,
forward
I
from
can close my eyes.
April to September. Fast forward.
Right? I can close my eyes and I know it. I'm going like, oh man, you remember that day right before the season? We were talking about make it go slow. Here it is, Black Friday. Like I can see it.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's going to feel exactly like
it'll
that.
fly.
It will.
Black Friday Bears. What do you got?
Black Friday beatdown of the Bears.
There's no way they're going to lose that game at home.
No. Caleb Williams, come on.
No, Bears will be improved, but they're not. They're not good enough.
VG.
The Birds.
VG has them 11-1.
He's got them 10-2. You act like I'm so
11-1 is so over the top. I think I had him 10-2 too.
They're going to be favored in every game that they've played.
Okay, but
probably.
you know how the league works. You don't win every game. All right, at the Chargers, Futz, on a Monday night.
Oh. That's going to be a win.
All right.
I have that as a loss.
Oh, okay.
You know, that combo. Woo, but going cross country.
Home Raiders.
Win.
1 o'clock. They play the West.
Why are the West Coast teams at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
Out here. That's a disservice to the fans out there.
It is. It really is. Then you got 2 road games. I still hate the schedule. I don't like this schedule at all. A little bit. I think I hate the schedule. The fact that they're playing Washington on week 15 and week 7 or week 16 and week 18. I hate that.
Yeah.
with Buffalo
Like,
sandwiched
like
in between.
Washington and Detroit should be one of those games should be switched. Like the first Washington game and the first Detroit game should be like swapped out.
Well,
Let's get late Detroit.
It's stupid. You gotta. First of all, you should switch Washington and the Giants.
Yeah, obviously
Like,
that's the
easy.
no-brainer. Yeah,
Like if I was the league, I'd do it now. It's such a mistake.
yes.
But you're at Washington and then at Buffalo. So at Washington, what do you got?
At Washington, loss.
What do you got?
Win.
Of course you do.
Everyone we've had on has said that Washington is regressing. So yeah,
I don't believe they. Listen, I don't think they're going to have the record they have last year, but I think they're going to be as good. I think the quarterback's good. At Buffalo,
Win.
I have that as a loss.
All right, and then finally home Washington.
Win. They're going to split.
Yeah, you have them sweeping Washington, sweeping Dallas, and sweeping the Giants.
They're the cream of the crop of this division.
Man,
There might be regression with the Commanders, but I don't think they're going to
14-3.
Yeah, that's what I've been on.
Jesus. I mean, I thought I was green goggled up. 14-3.
Yeah.
That's what I totally think I had on.
Grok. I see what Grok says.
See what Grok has to say. I'll tell you though, I get it. I love going over schedules.
You do.
I just love it. I love the pregame, the pop and circumstance of it. It's great. All right, let's take care of some business, and then we'll get the update with our man EJ Smith, who covers the Birds for us. OPHLY. What a great job he does, man. He's the man. All right,
Grok's got him 13-4.
13-4.
Yeah, well, I'm one game crazier than Grok.
Let's talk about Cherry Hill Mitsubishi. You're looking for the most affordable 7-passenger SUV in America? Cherry Hill Mitsubishi has you covered. The 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. They're celebrating this whole fall season, the autumnal season, with incredible savings on the budget-friendly and gas-sipping Mitsubishis. All right, I didn't know this. This is a fact that shocked me. Mitsubishi Motors is #1 in customer satisfaction with dealer services among mainstream brands and SUV owners. Now, that's not me saying it. That's J.D. Power, all right? Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business, 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain, 5 years, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper. Why are you going to settle for a lesser warranty and be able to hook for costly repairs down the road? You don't need to do that, all right? You got to check. Do yourself a favor, please. Go see my friend Bill, all right? He's at right there, Cherry Hill Mitsubishi, Charlie Folk Auto Dealership. It's a Folk dealership, which means it's all quality. They care about you. In fact, you get the Cuz discount. If you go there, you get a car. You just take a test drive. They're going to give you lunch, a $100 restaurant.com gift card. So you can check it out, man. Drive home your new Mitsubishi today. Just minutes from all bridges. Available online 24/7. CherryHillMitsubishi.com. Now, I know people buy Mitsubishis elsewhere. I just don't know why. Why?
I have no idea why. But I do have an idea. If you want to teach your kids some fiscal responsibility, pay attention because fall is here. Maybe your kids got a little bit of a bankroll from a summer job. Maybe chores are picking up, you get back into routine, and they're going to start making some extra money. So this is the perfect time to set your kids up with something that teaches them real-world money skills, gives them a little bit of freedom, and it's the Greenlight debit card and money app from our friends over at TrueMark. And if you're a TrueMark financial member, you can get a free Greenlight account for your kids or teens, totally free. It's a simple way to help them manage their own money, and they get their own debit card. They can set savings goals, track spending, and learn how to budget, all while you stay in a loop from your phone. So you're actually overall in control, but they get to learn how money really works in everyday life. So before your kids are grown and they don't have the financial responsibility and literacy that they need, do it now. This is a great way to help your kids build some smart money habits that'll stick with them long into their adulthood. So head over to TrueMark.com/Greenlight, get all the details, sign up today, and don't miss this chance to set your kids up for some financial success. TrueMark.com/Greenlight. And we're also helping out our friends at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We're raising some money. There's a donate button right below our chat, trying to help them out this month, raise some cash. They do great things. And so if you feel like it, throw a couple bucks, donate at the bottom, $5, $10, $100, whatever you can afford helps out because they're doing great things.
They do great stuff. In fact, Joey's back today, and Joey's dad was a big.
Nice, yeah.
And he's on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters Philadelphia.
Nice.
Wow.
Big,
So yeah, you donate to them. They the Big Brothers Big Sisters have a little cash to take the kids out and do some fun activities with them.
My dad, he still has a little, you Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like pretty much my uncle, and they've known each other forever. It's
forever.
great. Yeah.
From Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Yeah.
Having
Nice.
little is like the best thing that's ever. It's so funny when he tells the story. He's just like
it's a great story.
Yeah, I know.
When he gave that speech.
Oh man, it's
was
funny when
beautiful.
he talks about it because like someone came knocking on the door like talking about it. They're like, "Oh, I'll hang out with the kid for like a week," and then he's just like 30, 40 years later, he's still here. He's just like
Part of the family.
Yeah, but
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, it is. It's a great thing. All right, let's go to our man, E.J. Smith on the X.
Give me that E, give me a J, give me an E.J. Give me that E.J. Smith.
There's my man. What's up, buddy?
Happy Kickoff Eve, guys. This is we're
Kickoff
here.
Eve, man.
We are
I'm making
finally
7
here.
fishes tonight. Dude,
listen,
I'm
we've
so
been
excited.
We've been waiting
How
for
you
this for a while
feeling,
now.
man? You pumped up? Could we get EJ a little louder? Are you pumped up?
I'm looking forward to this. It feels like we spent so much time in the weeds, talking about the 53-man roster, talking about who's going to be, that guy outside corner. And that stuff is important. I definitely, that's my job. I live that stuff. But it is exciting to zoom back out, talk about the season, and really just take stock of where this team is going into it. And like I said, it's going to be good to see these guys, in an actual game environment. So looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing of like the offense. I mean, it's an unknown. I mean, we know what they were last year. It's really the same group, other than Steen for Becton, and the wide receiver depth 4 and 5. But in reality, it's the same team. You got to give them a little latitude for being in bubble wrap all preseason, at least in the games.
Yeah, and they really didn't get very many reps, all 11, throughout the summer, but it's a group that's played together before. Obviously maybe there's some of a learning curve with Kevin Patullo, but honestly, we've talked about this. I feel like this is going to be a lot like it was last year. It's going to run through Saquon. I don't think you necessarily need all that many reps together. So, I don't have very many questions on the offensive side of the ball. And, listening to you guys before I got on, I feel like this year will be interesting because when you zoom out and you look at this team, it's like last year you didn't really know how dominant they were going to be until the very end. And I remember thinking at the end of last year, like guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, even, to a certain degree, Jalen Carter, Zach Bond, we're going to maybe appreciate those guys 3 or 4 years down the road more than we did last year. And I think that this season is going to be informative to that. I think that, we really are going to be able to go into the season knowing what this team's ceiling is a lot more than we did this time last year.
Yeah. And look, they didn't realize what the ceiling was. Like I was joking around, but it is wild to think about it. And you were there every day, but Nick was hanging by a thread. That was very real. Like there was a lot of talk in that building as to whether or not they should move on from him. And, there was a point where, it wouldn't have shocked me that they moved on from Nick and brought Belichick in because Belichick was hanging around the NFL films, right? He was here. I mean, thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, the energy around the team has shifted significantly. When you even think about going into the year last season and then midway through the season, like you mentioned, all of the pressure that was building around the entire organization, really, but especially Nick, and you think about Jalen and the way that he played. I think it's been really interesting the way that Jalen's been this summer. He seems, I think confident is probably not the right word because of the fact that he's always been confident. He's never been a guy who's lacked for confidence. He wears a hat that says rare breed. He wears a chain that says rare breed or breed of one. That stuff. I don't think he's ever lacked for that. But comfortability, being a little bit more less guarded, less standoffish at times. I think you think about how that could be instructive on the field, how that could sort of take shape or manifest itself in his play. You think about times last season when he was a little apprehensive to pull the trigger. Turnover reverse is the word I would use a lot of the time. I'm curious to see if that changes, and that all does kind of take me back to midway through last year when things did not seem like they were going to end well for anybody in that building, really. So, I think that going into this season, there's a confidence with this team. There's a certain looseness with the team. Now, again, these early weeks will be interesting. I think that they do need to knock some rust off. We saw last year they had the 2-2 start, but I do think that, again, like being in the locker room, being around this team, being around these guys, it's definitely just a different energy going into this year.
Well, you said something that I'm fascinated by. Because Zach Baun it took a minute for Fangio to figure out how to deploy him. Cooper, right? Didn't get into the game, didn't get into the line until after the bye. Quinyon was, rookie. So, these guys now have a full year completely acclimated to Vic's scheme. That really excites me. I mean, forget about the fact that I love the interior. I think the interior part of the line is really good. I love Nolan Smith, and we'll see about Hunt. I'm a little worried about their depth, but those guys that were here last year, now all of a sudden, EJ, I know my eyes didn't deceive me. That they're going to be even better. They almost have to be.
Yeah, Vic talked about how last season, that 3 or 4 week stretch, he kind of gave a better, more detailed explanation for why those first 4 games last year didn't look great defensively. But he said in the season opener that he threw too much at them. He thought that they knew more. He thought that they were further along than they really were, and it cost them in Brazil. And that type of stuff, you wouldn't expect that to happen this year. You would expect them to be, in that 200 level class or 300 level class in that Fangio system instead of being at the ground floor. So no, I think that obviously there's some moving parts or some new faces, but you're right. The core, you keep talking about the spine of that defense, the interior defensive line, the linebacker group, obviously at least one of the safety spots with Reed Blankenship. You've got guys who know what they're supposed to do. You got guys who have been in the scheme, and that is where you want to be strong in your defense. You want to be strong up the middle.
Yeah, and you know how it is. They've tried variations of Vic's defense before he got here, and it was, kind of hit or miss, a lot of miss. And now it's him, right? And now these guys understand it. I love your analogy of 200, 300 level, right? You're now in that element of the education of this system, and they're such a better tackling team. What I love? You've covered them. You saw, I still go back to the Gannon team that lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. They were not a good tackling team. In fact, good quarterbacks shredded that team. And even in the Super Bowl in 18 and 17, they were not a great tackling team. They had a great front, but they didn't tackle well.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that comes down to the linebacker play that you're going to get. I mean, this is, again, we've talked a lot about this being quite arguably the best Eagles linebacking core we've seen in recent memory, and the physicality that both Zach Baun and Jahad Campbell have is going to be really big. I think it will help kind of cover up for some of the other spots that we're less certain about. So, even the depth they have at that position, we talk about those edge guys. I wouldn't mind seeing, we will see Jahad Campbell and Zach Baun dropping down to the edge to sort of help shore up that group at times on early down. So, yeah, I think that linebacking core is a big part of it. And I think, honestly, just the play personality, the demeanor of the defense has shifted a lot in a short period of time under Fangio. You think about the fact that they went out and drafted Jahad Campbell and Andrew Makuba. Those guys, they fit that personality of that defense, and it is a young group, but it is a nasty group. It's a physical group led by Jalen Carter. You have those guys there that can set the tone, and that is something that I think lacked, a few years ago. You didn't have necessarily as many guys, especially once CJ Gardner-Johnson was out of the building. You really lost that swagger. This time around, I think that they are much more equipped to be able to handle that loss because of the fact that they've got guys like Jalen Carter, they've got guys like Zach Bond. They just have enough players that you kind of know could lay that hit, could be that physical, be the one that sets the tone. And then, yeah, I think that in general, that defensive coaching staff that Vic Fangio brought in, they're fundamentally sound. It is a fundamentally sound group in a way that wasn't always the case in years past.
EJ, so are we premature? We're talking about the linebackers, and I don't know. I always worry about getting too far ahead and like smelling myself, or are we like?
You're not playing,
I know, but we're bragging like the linebacker core, and we got a rookie that we've only seen play in preseason that looks really good, but you've seen him on a day in and day out basis. I know. I need to hear from someone who sees him with his own eyes every day. Is he? Do you think like we're cool saying the linebackers are going to be great this year?
No, especially because let's take a step. I'll get to Jahad Campbell, but Jeremiah Trotter Jr. had a solid summer. It's not like he was he was a liability out there, but Jahad Campbell outplayed him in the summer by the sheer nature of the guy is just a physical freak. The guy can cover so much ground. He was physical even in practice in the sense like he's the one that's kind of playing through the whistle and all the veterans are kind of, hey man, you need to slow up a little bit. So no, this is a guy who I do think is going to be, I don't know if impact player, difference maker, that's a heavy burden for a rookie to hold, but I think that he is going to be, he's going to make a difference in some areas in the sense that the versatility he has, the physicality he has, the range he can cover. I mean, these guys are so rangy. Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell being in the middle of the defense, you can just imagine all of the ground that those guys can cover, the different assignments they can take on. So I'm bullish on Jahad Campbell after watching him all summer. And I wasn't somebody who went into training camp, expecting him to be one of the players that popped. I was, I thought his coverage chops in college were interesting. I thought the fact that he looked so athletic coming off of the edge, I was wondering what that would look like. But I mean, he just really stood out as an off-ball linebacker, as an athletic guy.
He is,
in the middle of the field, and
he'll blow you up.
I think that's where he's going to be. Exactly. So I think he's earned the hype going into the regular season.
Like honestly, I heard from people down there that Trot Jr. actually it's a shame and for him, and that any other situation would have won the job. He played well enough, he looked good enough to win the job.
Yeah, no, he absolutely did. I mean, he had first team reps all summer, but you could just see it. Like there were times where he'd give up a catch or he wouldn't get to something, and then Jahad Campbell would be in there and he'd get to that run fit or he would make that pass break up because he's just he's bigger and he's just more explosive. So having those two guys, I think it's fair to be bullish about those guys for sure.
Yeah, I'm a Campbell. He's already one of my favorites. I love the South Jersey kid. I just I can't wait to see what Vic does with him from the second level because he fires. Like that's a button you press and he just is a missile that fires from the second level. Like that's going to be fun.
Yeah. I mean, and you got Jalen
defense. I mean, honestly, I know that the CB2 is a worry spot, but man, I mean, Carter's freak. I know people go, well, he was pretty quiet in training camp. Yes, that's fine. Let him be quiet. In fact, it's better than
you want to practice, right? You want to be able to practice,
right? He ruined practice for you.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he going to be like this year? Oh my God, another year older.
Yeah, no, I think that the production's going to come for him this year. He had I think it was 5 sacks last season, and I think he is a guy who could have double-digit sacks easily. I mean, we've seen how disruptive he is. We've seen, how he can take over a game. I feel like with defensive tackles, it takes a few years to really figure out how to turn that into numbers, and I think that this is the year he's going to do it. So, and even if he doesn't have, double-digit sacks or TFLs or something like that, when you watch the games, you see it. And more importantly, when offensive coordinators have to start each week's game plan, just like the Eagles would have had to start with Micah Parsons, in the past before the Cowboys traded him away, like teams have to start with Jalen Carter. Teams have to say, how are we dealing with 98 on the interior offensive line? Like, how are we going to slide to him? How are we going to make sure that we've got 4 hands on that guy every play? And that opens up so much for everybody else. So, he doesn't need the numbers, but I think he's good enough that he's going to get the numbers too.
Yeah, I agree. Now, he was the best player on the field in the Super Bowl and didn't have a tackle.
Yeah. Right, exactly. That's the type of player he is. It's fascinating to watch, but I mean, you can't take your eyes off the guy when he's on the field.
So what do we expect from Saquon, right? You know, he's so interesting because, I mean, what we saw the greatest year ever of an Eagles back. We saw something that we never saw before. Like, I almost think he's underplayed. Like, as crazy as it sounds, as big a year as he had last year, it's almost like, I don't know. I mean, he's almost underplayed about what he did, what he accomplished, all those long touchdown runs, the backwards hurdle. There were so many highlights.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's just bracing for the regression for him, right? They think that the attrition of the heavy workload is going to catch up to him, or they just don't think that you can really repeat. And listen, I mean, he's talked about it. It's hard to repeat. I don't know if he expects for himself that he's going to get 2,000 rushing yards or something like that, but I think he's still absolutely the driving force for this offense going into the season. I think, that is there a chance that they're going to have to mix things up and adjust throughout the season as teams try different things to slow it down? Sure. But I mean, he made a good point. I asked him about this. Like, is he curious about, how teams might, set up against them this year, how teams might try to sell out to stop the run? And he said, honestly, they were doing that last year. It's not like, it's not like last year they weren't trying to slow him down. So, I do. I think he's going to be the centerpiece of the offense going into the season. I'm bullish on the Eagles pass game. I think the Eagles pass game is going to be better this year compared to last year, but I still think Saquon is the one that sets the table for everything else, especially going into the year. I mean, especially like we talked about these games being like preseason games, right? You said preseason games that count. Saquon is kind of the great equalizer with that type of stuff because you've got that run game to lean on. I think that they'll be able to, for sure. So yeah, I mean, I see where you're coming from with that. I feel like everyone is sort of going, oh, he can't do it again this year. And honestly, I don't know if it'll be a historic season or not. It is hard to do that, but I still think he is, one of, if not the best running back. I mean, he got voted number one player in the NFL yesterday or a couple days ago. Like,
right.
He still is that guy. He's not like he just disappeared over the offseason.
Yeah, it's just weird, like how we don't talk. I don't know. I feel like we don't talk about him enough. Like that Saquon. I don't know.
He had a season of all seasons. I mean, yeah, I think you're right with that. I don't know if we take it for granted. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, you look at how great, like, A.J. Brown is a great, great player. And I'm curious because you mentioned the pass game and what transpires there, because it's almost a shame, like, that he hasn't been able to put the numbers up, because I know the numbers are important. Wide receivers love their numbers. And to his credit, he's team first. Like, he really put that on the back burner. I'd like to see him have a couple monster games just to kind of feed the ego a little bit, because he deserves it.
Yeah, and I think the opportunities will be there for him. I looked this up the other day. He was the third best receiver in the NFL against single high coverages last year. And that is what the Eagles should be expecting to see plenty of this season as teams try to load the box, try to, have that one safety, shaded down to try and help against the run game. And I'm not saying, oh, this is how they're going to stop the Eagles run game. I just think that is one of the most basic things you can do. And, the Eagles they are just a math problem. Saquon Barkley's talked about them being the pick your poison offense. If you want to put two safeties over the top to account for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, they'll run at you all day, and if you want to drop a safety in the box, then they'll throw over the top. So I think that AJ, I think he's due for that, positive regression. I think, last season, the pass game had its moments where it wasn't really productive, especially not through him. I think that he's going to have that year, especially, I mean, health is obviously a big factor in there, but I think he's the type of player that if you needed to run an offense through him, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen them run the offense through him, and he's been productive. He's been dominant. So they have it. If they need it, will they need it right away? I don't know, but I think there will be stretches this season where he is kind of that driving force that we talk about Saquon being as well.
Real quick, I was listening to the radio. I think it was yesterday, and the host brings up, well, we forget that there were moments, and a lot of moments, where the offense lagged. And I started to think about that statement, and it wasn't wrong.
First quarter.
But there were games where the offense lagged, even in the third quarter. Like, there were times when the offense got stale. Even in the playoffs, there was a couple of the Packers game, it got stale a few drives, right? There were some moments like that. And I guess, like to me, it's the cost of doing business when you're a run-heavy team. Because when you're a run-heavy team, you gotta invest in it. And so
like
drives
right?
aren't going to look, you're not going to be the Lions. You're not going to pop all game long. But what do you his point was, we forget that the offense was spotty. And he's like, you should worry about that.
Yeah, I think that there were a few things there. Like I think you're totally right. Some of the run game stuff is setting stuff up. It's like that jab that you throw the first couple rounds so you can set up the haymaker, and that is definitely something we've seen. We've heard Saquon talk about the fact that they draw up run plays on the sideline to sort of account for, to sort of be able to counter what they're seeing out there. So some of that is definitely setting things up. But yeah, I do remember we talked a lot about slow starts last year. I remember hearing Jalen talk about the first down and being able to get that progress and sort of get into a rhythm. And listen, I mean, I use the phrase a rhythmic passing game so much last year. I remember saying it so much that I got sick of hearing it, and sick of writing it, sick of trying to make sure I spelled a rhythmic correctly. So like those things did happen last season.
Don't forget the why.
Exactly. But I think that, some of that is going to happen during a season. And some of that comes down to the fact that the Eagles passing game, again, it didn't have great stretches. But again, in the biggest moments, we saw, what Jalen Hurts is capable of, what his ceiling was within the framework of an offense that does have the benefit of having Saquon Barkley and having his ability to tilt the field, be able to, the gravity that a player like that has. So, I think that is going to be an interesting thing to watch. Again, I'm bullish on the Eagles passing game. I think there's reason to believe it will be better this year than it was last year. And that would go a long way toward fixing some of those dry spells that, they definitely were apparent last year. There were definitely stretches where the offense really couldn't stay on the field.
EJ, in your piece, I mean, it's along the same lines of the passing game and stuff. You had Kevin Patullo said that to expect like some new wrinkles. And I was just wanted to ask if you're going to take an educated guess of what these new wrinkles might be.
Yeah, I think two things that stood out during training camp. The first one, I think every single offensive coordinator that has come through that door has tried to figure out how to more effectively marry up the run and the pass game. And I don't want to don't get excited about under center play action. We didn't see much of it. I don't think that's really.
Well, how many times have I asked you about it?
Offense. I mean, listen, because you're right. I think that it's kind of. It is confusing why it's not a thing, but it's also not confusing. I don't think it's a Jalen thing, so I don't think that they do very much of it. But I do think every coordinator has tried to figure out how can we leverage the play action game more than we have in the past. So I think that's a big one. And then the other one, just a small wrinkle, but they've been really creative with like some of their exchanges in the run game. It hasn't been conventional, mesh point, zone read stuff. We've seen some like shovel passes, some tosses, and I think that the run game might look a little bit different in the backfield, whether it's for efficiency's sake or changing up the look. We've seen some of that. So I don't know how much. I still think this offense is going to look mostly like it has looked with Jalen under center. I think that at this point, Jalen is one of the authors of the offense, regardless of who the offensive coordinator is. I think the flow from the play calling standpoint is something we need to keep an eye on with Kevin Patullo. But yeah, I think that those are the two things that I have my eye on. I think, again, especially that play action game, it just feels like there are opportunities there for them to really get more out of it.
How do you get the middle of the field to be a bigger kind of weapon for them, to use the middle of the field more?
Yeah, I mean, the play action game is definitely a big part of it, being able to get those linebackers.
Yeah, especially when you're under
downhill.
center, right?
Yeah.
It's a natural.
But to me, that's where A.J. Brown comes in. Like A.J. Brown, because if you remember before A.J. was with the Eagles, Jalen really, literally never threw over in the middle of the field. And at least when you got A.J. in the building, you get those slant routes, you get those in breakers, because he's so good at those. I mean, that is really,
right.
I mean, obviously him.
But that's the only thing he throws are those in breakers.
Right? Yeah. So to me, it's like
that's what I want to see as his game evolves. I want to see a little bit more, down the seams. I want to see a little more Goddard, right? A little more sit down in space from your third receiver.
Yeah. So to me, I feel like maybe that is the manifestation of a more confident, more comfortable Jalen Hurts. Maybe that is where that comes into play. But I think that he's never going to major in it. I think we've seen enough of him as a quarterback to know that he's not going to be someone who's throwing there regularly. But to me, it's like you got to keep defenses honest. And you're right. It's Goddard up the seam. It's A.J. Brown on a backside dig that, if he can get to that spot in the progression, being able to work back to the middle of the field for A.J. I think those are the areas that you could see him doing it. But yeah, I think those are the ones that stand out to me. I feel like we might be able to see more of it coming up this season.
Yeah, I like it. All right, brother. So good news on the injury front. That kid's a beast. Dickerson's a beast. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Mailata said that Landon Dickerson is like Wolverine. He's got some kind of superhuman healing power. And no, I mean, this guy has just played through. He's played through so much, and I talked to him about it over the summer. I remember asking him, like, a lot of guys like who have had the number of injuries you have aren't playing anymore, and he just talked about how it's a mental thing. I feel like for whatever it is, I don't know how he got there, but he is at a point where he's mastered that. The mental hurdle of playing through stuff and playing after coming back from stuff. So the fact that the knee's not even on the injury report, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we would have been stunned if you told us that. Like, the fact that he had the surgery, has come back, and is just ready to play week one knee-wise. Obviously, the back it's going to be interesting to see what he looks like because of that back. I wonder if it's a compensatory thing. But, then you get the long break on the other side of the Thursday night game. Hopefully he'll be, in better shape by the end of that one. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. But, again, that guy, I mean, he is as tough as they come.
My man, I cannot wait. It's kickoff eve, brother. Kickoff eve. Here we go. What's your plan today? 2:00?
Yeah, 2:00. We got a full house. We got Fran and Deniz in studio. So, yeah, it should be a good one.
Yeah, let's go, EJ. Thanks, brother.
Thanks for having me, guys.
A.J. Smith.
Oh. Hey, he does a lot of good writing. And if you're a diehard, you can get access to it.
Yes.
Lots of insight. We got a special going on.
Yes.
$36 for a year. You get a shirt, too? Is that right, Andrew? We got a shirt?
Yes, you get the Bird Gang FC Football Club FC shirt.
All right. So all that good content and a shirt. For $36. I don't know where you beat that,
dude. You
for this coverage,
the coverage you get between
EJ,
Fran, are you kidding?
Chara Flyers,
Oh, it's a great deal. Yeah. Seriously, great stuff.
You're a 4 for 4 person.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe Rockhead for donating to the Big Brother Big Sisters in the chat. Nice work, Joe.
All right. Let's take care of some business. All right, some business. Let's talk about Xfinity Sports. Yes. Oh, yeah. I love Xfinity Sports. I know. Listen, you have a choice. You could go the Xfinity Sports route or maybe the VG route, right? Like, so now he may have his pickies.
Ooh, I got a snack. I'm going shopping right after today to get ready for tomorrow's game. Get those snacks ready.
Now, VG set up a total mess. It's just horrible.
Don't be a VG.
Lagging,
yes,
buffering, switching between apps just to try to find the game.
I'm moving antenna ears around.
Yes,
trying to get static.
Now, VG is a big fan. I know he is, but he fan fishes himself. All right. Now you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. I have Xfinity.
I never get an invite, so
yeah. Well, I don't. Nobody comes over. I'm a guest, not a host.
Yeah, you're not a good host?
Nah. No, I'm a guest. I'm a good guest. I'm a great guest.
Yeah, you would be a good guest.
I'm a great guest. I'm a bad host. But it's the ultimate sports destination, Xfinity. All right, I can watch the best games, my favorite teams, all in one place. And the way I watch is next level. All right? It's the perfect fan flex. You got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound, enhanced 4K, which is ridiculous. I was watching the college games in enhanced 4K. Clemson, LSU, and 4. I was like, I feel like
probably seeing those hairs.
I feel like I'm in the stands. I'm in the stadium. I'm in the Death Valley.
Nice.
It was awesome. I had the 4 games going on at one time because why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, you get real-time notifications, live stats. The best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail, VG.
Mm-hmm.
All right, learn more, Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box. All right, let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem, and the Bet Park Sportsbook online app. We are now, what, 8.5?
8.5, yes.
Still 47?
47.5.
47.5. All right. Well, the Bet Parks app is doing something spectacular this opener. The 25K giveaway. 25,000 in free bets up for grabs. To enter, all you got to do is place a $25 wager on the game. Could be anything. You could go Eagles team total over. You could go Eagles lay, 20, 19.5. That was my recommendation.
Bet Parks, yeah, and also you hop on this one too. They're giving away. They got a daily boost today on this game, or for the Eagles season. They win the NFC East plus 150. That's free money.
Plus 150 to win the
division.
division.
Win the NFC East.
Oh my!
That's plus money.
Yeah,
that's a daily boost only today, I think.
Wow, you got to check it out. BetParks.com is all the details. Don't forget the 25K giveaway, so you'll win your share of free bets. That's new and existing customers. So I would sign up for the app if I were you guys. And you place that $25 bet, you're golden. You're going to be in for the 25K giveaway. Winners will be announced Friday. All right. September 5th. They'll announce everything. It's right there, right on your phone. Check it out. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21, PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Now, we got our buddy. We love him. On Wednesdays, he is the great Mike Sielski on the Xfinity guest line. That gets me every time. Good morning, Michael.
Morning, cuz. Yeah, it makes me sound like I don't even know what, like an action movie villain from the 80s or something.
Right.
I don't even know.
It's perfect for you. Yes.
Who's the guy in Die Hard?
Hans Gruber.
Yeah, it's you. You're Hans.
That's me.
Hans Sielski.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Wow, that was impressive. You did the line on cue.
So we showed that movie. My wife and I showed Die Hard to our kids. We do every couple of weeks. We do classic movie night as a family, and Die Hard is now my 11-year-old son's. It's like that and Jaws are his two favorite movies. So we are big Die Hard fans in the Sielski house.
We do that too. We'll do like the kids love Jaws. It's amazing. Jaws, every generation loves it. Doesn't matter if it looks dated. No, they love it.
It is a perfect movie. It's an incredible example of how having limited resources can work to your advantage. The fact that the mechanical shark would not work, and it forced Steven Spielberg to go the first hour and 10 minutes of the movie and not show the shark, and it builds
Just
up
the
the
fin.
suspense.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's a perfect movie.
It really is. It really is. All right. We are Kickoff Eve in Philadelphia. Couple things I want to discuss. First, what do the Eagles mean to you personally?
It's funny. I've heard you talking about this with Bo Wolf and Dave Murphy and a couple other people this week.
Well, I had to ask you because this is they're a part of you.
Yeah, they are. And I know exactly what you mean with the question. I'm going to take my columnist hat off here for a second because Murph spoke about this yesterday, about the need for objectivity and a little bit of detachment in the job you have. But when I think of the Eagles growing up just outside the city, I think of Sundays either at the house where I grew up or at one of my grandparents' houses. And that was what you did on Sunday. Was the day was built around watching the Eagles game, to the point where we usually would go to mass on Saturday evening so that we would have the entire Sunday free, right? Now, there were other reasons we did that, but one of the primary ones was in the fall that you could watch the Eagles game. You didn't have to hustle to mass or come back or anything
There was
like
a
that.
4:30 mass on Saturdays.
Yep. Yeah, ours was at 5 o'clock. And God forbid, when I was an altar boy, that I had the noon mass on Sunday, because then you're missing the pregame.
Dude, that was a
and it's kinda
disaster.
close.
When I have the same boat, that would be the worst when you saw the noon schedule.
Yeah.
And if you had a priest with a long homily that goes on and on, like, oh, we're not getting out of here till 12:50. It's going to be a rush to get home.
Yeah, it is. So my earliest Eagles memory is actually of the 1981 Super Bowl, because my parents literally invited everyone they knew to our house to watch the game. And I was not yet 6 years old. And for years and years and years after that, people talked about it being the worst party in the history of parties, because the Raiders score right away. The Eagles get the touchdown called back. It's just bad from the get-go. And for years in my family, my mother would joke every time the Eagles would win a game, and she would do this right up until the moment that the gun sounded at the end of Super Bowl 52. She would say, "I'm rolling meatballs, Mike," meaning if they won a game during the regular season, she was rolling meatballs for the Super Bowl party. And
I love it.
yeah, so and the other childhood memory, I mean, I watched every game when I was a kid and all that, but I can distinctly remember being sick at home on a Sunday in 1988 and thinking, like, I never missed school. I was one of those kids who perfect attendance from kindergarten through 8th grade, was very rigorous about studying. I was a kind of a nerd at that time. Not much has changed. But I was lying on the couch watching the Eagles play the Giants in 1988 at the Meadowlands, the game where in overtime, the field goal gets blocked, the Luis Zendejas field goal gets blocked, and Clyde Simmons picks up the loose ball and runs it in for the touchdown to win the game. And
wow, I remember that game. Oh my God.
And that was it. It was like Popeye had eaten his spinach, or somebody had thrown away the kryptonite away from Superman, and I was immediately well. And I went to school the next day, and it cured my sickness watching the Eagles beat the Giants that day.
They were medicinal in so many ways. What was your what was on the menu for the Sundays? Was there a special a meal each time?
No, it was just kind of sit down. It could be roast beef, could be spaghetti and meatballs, could be any number of things. We'd usually, for some reason, I remember this, my mom would make Jell-O for dessert just because it was quick and easy, and she's a school teacher, and we got to get to bed for school the next day and all of that. But I just remember that
Oh my
feeling,
God, the Jell-O. I remember they used to make the Jell-O with the Ready Whip on top of it.
My parents
yeah.
still do that.
Yeah, it just was quick and easy, and it was something kids would eat.
I haven't thought about Jell-O since we were kids. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and just that idea of it could be just the four of us, my mom, my dad, me, and my sister. We could have family members over. We could have gone to my grandparents' house on a Sunday where, my aunts and uncles would be over, but it was all around this. It was around the game. And I can remember, my grandfather, my dad's dad passed away in 2002. And it was sad for all of us, but I remember my dad talking about, because the Eagles, that was the year that Donovan got hurt and AJ Feely comes in, and it looks like they're this blessed team. And my dad saying, like, gosh, it looks like they're going to win the Super Bowl. I wish your grandfather could be here to see it. And then, of course, they lose to Tampa. And, when they finally win in 18, the game ends and I go to the back of the press box and I call my dad. And I filed my column. I got to head downstairs to talk to more people, but I got to make sure I'm talking to my dad to get his reaction. And I could hear him on the phone getting a little emotional, because I'm sure he thought, not that we've ever talked about this, that maybe he wouldn't be around to see the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And he had family members and friends who weren't around to see the Eagles win a Super Bowl. And what Bo said yesterday about that Super Bowl being for everyone who was connected to people who got to see it, that rang really true to me.
Can I just tell you that story of calling your father after following your column is exactly why I love you, and you're the perfect columnist for Philadelphia. Like,
Appreciate that.
I comes from the heart. I'm a huge. Listen, I love you. I love your work. I love when you're on. You know, you really speak to what the Philadelphia experience is. Like, when it comes to sports Philadelphia, if it's sports Philadelphia, it's a place, you speak to that. And that was it. Like, the fact that you felt like compelled that I got to call my father and let him know, it's like I would have done the same thing if I was in the press box. Same thing.
I appreciate that, and you know, it's funny. I've said this to Ray himself. I feel like Ray Dittinger is kind of the model for what a lot of guys in his generation wanted to be. He grew up in the city and got the dream of being able to cover Philadelphia sports and write about them. And my dad was an English major at LaSalle. He went on and became a postal inspector. And again, I'm sure he's never said this to me explicitly, but I'm sure he like loves the fact that his kid got to do the job that he would have loved to do himself. And I think there are a lot of guys from the baby boom generation and even a lot of Gen Xers who feel that way. And that's what's beautiful about sports and sports in Philadelphia in particular. What you said yesterday about Philadelphia being the best football big city in America is 100% accurate. Football is not as important in New York as baseball or basketball. The other towns in the NFL where football really, really matters, like Buffalo or Green Bay, aren't the metropolises that Philadelphia is. And it's the thing that ties everybody in the community together. It just is. What, you know, the day-to-day coverage, the stories, what's going on with these teams, and in this with this team in particular, there's nothing else like it.
No, there isn't, and that's why, you know, part of our responsibility as media members is to also, you know, celebrate what it means for the city. And again, when I don't mean to blur the lines of covering the team, but celebrating what it means, because it's important. If I always say sports builds churches, and it's not, to me, we're case in point in that. Like, you walk around anywhere in this town, and I feel like the younger generation is even like more, I don't know how to say it. Like, they're more, we were diehards, but it wasn't everybody in our class. Like,
right.
You know, I think now they're way more popular, like boys and girls. Like, growing up, I don't know one girl in my class that was a Eagles fan. Like, you know, they just didn't want.
You're putting your finger something on really deep and important. Not that we want to go this deep in a show like this, but there aren't many things left in our society that connect us that way. There just aren't. Fewer people go to church. Fewer people are involved.
Dude,
in, like,
real quick,
civic organizations.
I
and
want
all
to talk
that
about
stuff.
this. I want to talk about it because when you were talking about mass, my mind's eye goes back to we had a very similar childhood, right? And I'm thinking about going to mass. You know, the Saturday mass, like, hey, man, maybe we'll go. You know, Saturdays we were running around and playing ball, doing everything. But if you could sneak it in, you would sneak it in. This way, Sunday morning was free.
Right.
And it should be a way that we looked at it. But, you know, I mean, it's all part of it. But at least we went, right? And I think now, and you're talking about it, I'm like, damn, I need to make sure we go more to mass as a family. But now, you know, there's games every weekend, and, you know, I mean, it's not an excuse, but, you know.
No, but you think about it too, and I've had those same thoughts. My family's social circle isn't tied to a parish in the way that growing up, my family was.
Yeah.
And there are a million different reasons for that, right? There was a lot of voluntary segregation back in the day, back when we were growing up. You know, here's the Italian neighborhood, here's the black neighborhood, here's the Polish neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera. And that church and whatever social connection was kind of based out of that institution. That's not as true as often anymore, let alone the fact that our politics are so strident and so fractured and everybody's so divided. And there aren't as many things that just kind of cause us to have connections with people. And sports is the primary one, I would argue, now in our society. So people lean into that. It's like, okay, I don't like anything else about this guy or this girl, but at least they're an Eagles fan and we can connect on that.
Yes. You know, I think it's funny because I know youth sports gets a bad rap, and we talk about it all the time, like, oh, these parents are nuts and coaches and all this stuff. But I got news for you. It's a great experience because you're there with your kids and everybody's there. Like mom and dad are there and, you know, as much as possible. And it's just a congregation. And it reminds you of going to church. So you see the same people, it's the teams you're playing, like you're gathering, right? If God wants you to gather together, right? Well, the Eagles football is the ultimate church because it you know transcends religion, politics. It transcends all that stuff, and it's just organic. Like, hey, man, you're an Eagle fan. I'm an Eagle fan. What's up, brother? Go Birds! Like that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's one of the kind of the last organic things that does that, right? Like your point about youth sports is good, but the fact is, like, and I'm in the same boat. We're setting up these routines ourselves where, okay, I signed my kid up for this sport or I signed my kid up for that sport. And that means every Monday at 6 o'clock, we got to be here or be there, or every Saturday we got to be here or be there. Back in the day, it was a little more organic. It was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I got a soccer game on a Saturday morning and it'll go to the early afternoon. And then I got a few hours to kill and it'll be 4 o'clock and nothing's really on TV. So we'll flip on like ABC Wide World of Sports and watch bowling for an hour. And then we'll go to mass and then we'll go out to dinner. And then that's our Saturday. And the routine was still there. It just wasn't, you weren't paying thousands of dollars to drive somewhere on a Saturday so your kid could play baseball to do it.
Right. You're so right. Now, was Friday night pizza night in your house?
It generally was. We would do a lot of pizza on Saturdays too. Growing up, Saturdays often would be like getting together with friends. You know, I'm sure you guys had the same thing. Like, you know, growing up, my parents had friends who were like my aunts and uncles, and of course had a big extended family. So there was a lot of that. You know, a lot of that.
Yeah, and it was funny because I'm sure it revolved around sports in those houses, especially when you had your uncles around and everybody like. I think right.
I was just going to say, my grandmother, my mom's mom, was off the boat Irish. You know, she moved here when she was 24 and lived here for 70 some years. And in the 70s, her favorite football player, this is how often we were watching football as a family. Her favorite football player was Franco Harris because she didn't realize he was half black, half Italian. She thought his name was Frank O'Harris. So she rooted for him. I'm not making that up.
That's fabulous.
That's amazing.
Frank O'Harris. That's beautiful. I love it. My grandmother used to name the turkey every year a different, like Philly sports. One year it was Schmitty. One year it was Bill Barber.
You're eating Schmitty?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
One year it was Barkley.
No.
She's like,
Grandma.
look at Barkley, Mama.
Couldn't they name it like Leon Stickle or Joe Carter one year? Come on.
I thought you were going to say
like you know why? Because we celebrated it, right? So she thought it was a great way to bond with me and my cousin, right? And it was like, here you go. Look at this turkey, Aunt.
Oh my gosh.
I'm calling him Schmitty, all right?
Can I have, hey, like, Grandma, pass me Armand Gilliam's leg, please.
Her favorite player was Bill Barber. That was her favorite player.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Classic. All right. Expectations for this team. First, I'll ask you, is it a truism that last year's Eagles team was among the best ever Super Bowl teams in our lifetime? Top 10? Top?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. I made the argument in a column the night they beat the Chiefs and won the Super Bowl that it's the best Philadelphia team of all time.
Yes.
Because the stakes for the NFL, with respect to the NFL and its popularity now in America, are so much higher than the NBA in 1983 when the Sixers won it, or the Flyers in the 70s. It just matters more. The NFL's bigger, and for the Eagles to be that dominant, they're the best Philadelphia team, I think, of all time. So yeah, my expectations are that they'll be right there in the mix to get back there and win the whole thing. I picked the Packers. I think they're really good. I think they're a team on the rise. And I think it's just really going to be difficult for any team to get back there as good as I think the Eagles are. Would it surprise me if they got back there? Absolutely not. Do I expect them to? I absolutely don't. I think just the law of averages says it'll be somebody else.
You know, it's interesting because when you looked at last year, and we made this point, I believe in parallel universes. And there's a parallel universe where Nick Sirianni gets fired and Bill Belichick is the coach. He was hanging in NFL films. He was putting up the Belichick smoke signal, right? And I know that he was like a thread away from losing the job. One loss would have pushed him over the top, and they would have went to Belichick.
Yeah, that was the scuttlebutt. Everybody was hearing it after they lost to Tampa in that wild card game in early 24 after that collapse in 23. After the Cleveland game, it was right there in everybody's face. You could see it. I mean, even if you weren't hearing it, you could see it in Nick, shaving his head and the way he was carrying himself after all of these games in the post-game press conferences. And it was there. It was obvious. And then to have it turn around like that was remarkable. And you can see the difference in him now. I was at the presser yesterday, and he's different. There's a little bit more of a relaxation and assurance there. I've won. I've done it. I know I can do it. I got the contract extension. Everything, the volume's down a little bit, so to speak.
It's funny. I thought the same thing. He seemed calm. He just seemed calm. He seemed confident. I liked the fact that he was emotional at times, and I thought he was. I found him interesting, right?
Oh yeah.
I also found like during press conferences, he was almost bargaining with himself, right? Like he was almost looking for validation from the press and through himself. Like he would go on tangents that he really shouldn't have went on, and he would divulge stuff that he probably shouldn't have divulged. But it was almost like hey man, like you could almost see it. You could feel that he was self-conscious. You could feel it. And now he looks confident to me.
Yeah, it was almost as if you could read his thoughts as he was having them, because he would express them in the moment. And he'd be searching for the right thing to say and the right way to present himself. And he's clearly someone who takes everything in from the outside. He reads and hears what is written and said about him. I know that as well as anybody. But it seems like he's managing that better now. And I think that comes with maturity. I think it comes with a better understanding of what the job actually entails, about what really matters and what doesn't matter. And of course, I think there are certain personality types, and maybe I'm speaking for myself here a little bit, who they are high achievers and they're ambitious. And with that comes a measure of insecurity that needs some external validation. And it's only once you get that validation that you become comfortable in your own skin fully. And I think that's what happened to Nick. They won the whole thing. He got the extension, and it's like, okay, now I don't need to search for the kind words and the compliments and the reassurance that I'm good in this job and I'm going to be in this job for a while. People now accept and understand that I'm good at what I do, and now I'm cool with it too.
Yeah, dude. Listen, I think we both can relate.
Yeah.
I think when you're a writer, I think I think you wear it like you're gonna be, because in your mind, your work, you're like, oh man, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, and you can't divorce your own work from what was in your head as to what people read, because people who read say, oh, that was a great column. Like they don't know that you might have forgotten something, or you had a better line. Like I don't know about you, but I can't even read my own work from years ago. It makes me cringe.
It's off. I don't mean your work. I mean my work from years ago is
right.
awful. Yes, and you're 100% right about that. I'm writing this Rocky book now, and all I can see are the things that I'm not putting in there. What is somebody's gonna read this thing and say, you left out this, or you didn't spend enough time on that. And that drives me absolutely crazy. And I think Nick was probably going through something similar.
Yes.
Where I'm doing all I can, but all I see and hear are what people say I'm not doing. And it preyed on his mind a lot. And now it doesn't so much because he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that's what some of the reactions you would see him with the fans who were taunting him, where they were just poking at that insecurity, which he had to react to. And now he won't care what they say. He's wanted, he's paid, he's the best of the best. I think he's going to be a whole different Nick now. I'm curious to see him from here on out.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I have to say, I love your stuff, Mike. You are one of the best writers in town. You're one of the reasons I pay to read Philly.com.
Thanks.
And you get the ominous intro because you do headlines like Devontae Smith wants the ball and wants to win. Can the Eagles do both? And you talk about how he's a selfless receiver. He's cool. He takes care of his family. He's getting paid to play a game he loves, but can this hold out? We'll see. You ended saying we'll see week 5 if he's still happy, if he's not getting the catches. So tell me a little about taking this angle, because this is what I love about you, and this is why you get that ominous intro.
I appreciate that, VG. Yeah, this was something I wanted to talk to both Devontae and AJ about, and I got some one-on-one time with Devontae after the crowd around his locker went away. And I don't think it's a character flaw for an NFL wide receiver, especially one as accomplished and talented and terrific as Devontae.
Yes.
To want the ball. That's the job. The job is not to block on the outside for Saquon Barkley. That helps, and Devontae's a really good blocker, and I have no doubt he's happy that they won the Super Bowl and that he had the touchdown in the Super Bowl, the dagger, all of that. But he wants to catch the ball. That's what these guys do. And if 4 or 5 weeks in, they're 3-2, or he's averaging 2 or 3 catches a game, look, it's going to be a question. Like, it just is. It doesn't mean it's going to be a cancer that takes over the locker room. I'm not suggesting that. But we also know what happened last year after the Carolina game, where Devontae was as outspoken as AJ was about how the passing game needed to improve. He wasn't as sharp in what he said, but he said exactly the same things that AJ did. It just blew up for AJ and not for Devontae. So that to me is something worth asking him about. And he kind of copped to it. I want the catches, I want the yards, but then I go through the thought process of what have I'm taking care of my family, and I've won a Super Bowl, and I have the contract, and that gets me through the feelings of I want the catches and I want the yards.
Yeah. Yeah. I often wonder how that's going to go. At some point, you go like, listen, I want to be the man. And I don't blame them. Like AJ, I brought up to EJ that AJ he could be the best receiver in football, but he'll never get the numbers to flex.
And you can't get to their level of success without wanting the ball all the time.
Right.
I mean, that's just the nature of the position.
To be an achiever, you need a degree of ego and pride.
Yes.
And part of that is I want the ball, man.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't make him Terrell Owens. It doesn't mean he's going to be fighting Hugh Douglas, with shower shoes on or anything like that, or calling out Jalen to pardon the interruption. It just means that it's a thing that we should pay attention to, because anything that's not perfect harmony in the Eagles locker room is something that's worth paying attention to. VG, I say this all the time. My buddy Rich Hoffman would use this line in what a role of a columnist, especially a Philly sports columnist, is supposed to be. You're the guy who looks at the Christmas tree and says, this is beautiful, but that one ornament about 2/3 of the way up is a little crooked. So we need to straighten that out. Like, that's kind of what my job is.
You're great at it. Great at it.
All right, last thing. Let's have a little fun because I want to go over the schedule with you, and then I want VG to argue his point. VG has the Eagles at 14 and 3.
Yeah, 14 and 3.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Now, Dallas tomorrow night
Win.
at Kansas City.
Probably a loss.
Why probably? I mean, they just decimated them. They've improved their offensive line a little bit, but
because they're going to be up for that game, the Chiefs, in a way that everybody's going to be up for the Eagles as the defending Super Bowl champs, but Arrowhead is going to be on fire for that game. And I just feel like it's reasonable to say that the Chiefs win that game.
I think Arrowhead's going to be a little nervous in that game. Eagles get a couple extra days prep, win.
All right.
Okay.
Rams home.
I think they win that game.
At Tampa.
I think they might lose it.
I'm over this.
You got to
Tampa
show me that
love.
you can stop. You got to show me that you can stop Tampa, right? Like the burden of proof. That's the one team in the NFC where the burden of proof is on the Eagles right now.
Yes.
You saying they're like the Mets with the Phils? They're the Eagles.
Yeah, a little
Mets?
bit. A little bit, yeah.
Well, you're saying I'm over this Tampa love. Everybody hates the Buccaneers.
Nah, I love Baldy, but Baldy's a big Tampa guy. And he likes up
He
Tampa.
just thinks they're good. I mean, the fact is that Todd Bowles has defended Jalen the best of any other coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're old. Godwin's
that's kind of
hurt.
where I come down on it too. Yeah. And if anybody's going to find the second cornerback to pick on, it's going to be Baker Mayfield with those quick throws like he did last year. Just
Huge Baker Mayfield fan, but I'm not afraid of Baker Mayfield versus Vic.
All right. Denver at home.
Win.
At Giants.
Oh, big win.
At Minnesota.
Win.
Home Giants.
Yeah, easy win.
So you got them 6-2 going into the break.
Yeah.
And I got them 7-1. Not that bad, not that different.
But you are like that.
I have a loss to Denver. You have a win on Denver.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, you're a Bo Nix guy.
A little bit.
Okay.
I'm a Sean Payton guy, big Sean Payton guy. I mean, you got to respect the resume.
At Green Bay.
Probably a loss.
You guys, this Packer love.
Packer love? What?
They got Micah Parsons, great player. Lane Johnson, easy peasy.
All right. Home Detroit.
Win.
At Dallas.
Win.
Home Bears Black Friday.
Win.
At Chargers.
That'll be a tough game, but I think they'll win.
Home Raiders.
Win. Sorry, Chip.
At Washington.
Loss. House of Horrors for them.
Yep. At Buffalo.
Loss.
2 losses is it back to back?
Home Washington.
Win.
So you got them 12-5.
That to me is the sweet spot record for them. Like I was on the radio last Saturday and I asked Dan Wilson, who was on with me, like if you could pick an Eagles record, but you can't pick 12-5, what would you pick? And it was a challenging question, right? Because they're better than 11-6, but 13-4 or 14-3 seems a bit of a stretch given the schedule to me.
Right. No, I have them at 12-5 too.
You guys like to play it safe.
VG's flexing after middle of Cooper DeJean bringing that interception back in the Super Bowl. VG was like, next year, 15-2.
The
Man.
best is VG last year for the first 8 weeks of this season. Oh, they stink. They got to fire Nick. They're this, they that.
Occasionally, I'm wrong. I was wrong. I mean,
PG
the only
thought
way they
he
lose
was
to the
wrong once, but
Commanders
he
is the
was
last game
mistaken.
of the season where they're not playing anybody. That's the only way they lose to the Commanders at all.
So, Mike, what's your mindset going into tomorrow night? Like, from a work standpoint?
I think they'll win pretty easily.
Yeah.
I do. It'll be tough in the beginning, but they'll pull away. They've generally played, with the exception of that second half of the Patriots game a couple of years ago, they've generally been, good enough in these openers. They beat the Packers in Brazil last year. They had that game against the Lions back in 22 when we weren't sure what they were going to be. And it took them, a series or two before they really got rolling. I think you'll see something similar here. In the end, it'll be a fairly easy victory just because they're much better than the Cowboys.
Yeah. My brother, we love you, man. These
Thanks,
talks
guys.
are so interesting, so we appreciate it.
Respect the green today, too. Nice.
Yeah. I dressed up a little bit for you guys. What can I say? It was better than just a T-shirt.
Thanks, brother. You're the best.
All right, thanks,
Appreciate it.
guys.
See you, buddy. Here he is, Mike Sielski. Always an interesting. I love him.
He's a great writer, smart guy.
But I love the conversations.
Yeah.
And we had a very similar Philadelphia experience. I like people that are from here that understand the experience.
Yeah.
That
He gets
convey it. All right, let's take care of some business. Coming up, a little fantasy football too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I got my last draft. My last draft's tonight. I need some help.
All right, perfect. The Geek is back. The Hornet. So we'll talk to the Geek coming up and get us set for a first fantasy weekend of the year. Last minute draft advice.
Yes.
And all your who to start, sit, all that's good stuff. All right, tell us a little bit about Shady Rays.
Oh, man. I'd love to because, I'm a guy who likes sunglasses. I don't leave the house without my sunglasses. And one time I brought my sunglasses to a foreign country and I left them behind in a hotel. And then I was always nervous about bringing my nice sunglasses anywhere with me, anywhere except just like driving because I didn't want to lose them or get them broken. And you know what? Then I found Shady Rays. Shady Rays totally changes the game. They got glasses that are made for real life. They're seriously good looking, crisp, polarized lenses, durable, and not stupidly expensive. And here's the crazy kicker of it all. As good as these glasses are, their warranty protection is even better because if you lose or break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair, no guilt trip, just replacements. You drive them over in your car the first day, no problem. So now I wear my sunglasses everywhere, bring them to concerts, maybe an occasional mosh pit, take them on a bike, take them to foreign countries. I'm not afraid because Shady Rays has got the eyewear that always has my back. So we've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head over to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code PHLY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. And try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shadyrays.com, promo code PHLY.
All right, I like it. Let's talk about the BetPark Sportsbook online casino app because it's countdown to kickoff, and our friends at BetParks, they got a great deal going on, man, right now. In fact, now the birds are 8.5, 47.5. That's amazing. They got you covered with an exciting offer to start the season. The BetParks $25,000 kickoff giveaway. The only sportsbook and app that we'll ever recommend is, of course, BetParks, man. Here's how it works. New and existing BetParks users, right? You place a $25 bet on the game between Birds and the Cowboys. However you want to do it. Birds over team total, Birds laying, 19.5, like it's a route because I see that. And you're automatically entered to win a share of $25,000 in bonus bets from our team at BetParks. That's right. BetParks.com has terms and conditions. The winners will be announced on Friday, September 5th. It's the $25,000 kickoff giveaway from our friends at BetParks. Man, they were also, they have what's the odds boost for the?
Oh, the odds boost is free money. It's I think it's just today, a daily boost. Eagles to win the NFC East is plus 125. I mean, that doesn't get any more guaranteed than gambling.
Yeah, what are the Phillies?
Phillies are a dog today.
Really? Quintana? No
Nola love at all. Phillies are coming in at Well, they're even money, plus 100. Brewers minus 118.
All right. That's not bad.
No.
Not bad.
Dodgers lost last night against the Buccos.
Dodgers lost.
Yeah, let's
The
go.
Mets went into free fall. It's something. Now they won last night.
They
but
did
still.
win last night.
Yeah, but still.
Well, now he's just worried about these Dodgers.
Yeah.
We need a second. We need a second bye.
Yeah.
We don't want the Mets round one.
No. All right. Lots to get to. Don't forget, BetParks. You got to be 21. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be a PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now let's talk some fantasy with the Geek.
Not Bo.
All right.
Hey, the Hornets back.
We are back. The Geek. Man, he's ready. We know it's football season when we got our buddy Geekus Aurelius on the Xfinity guest line. What do you say, Geek? Happy kickoff eve.
I feel like I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. It's just been a long off season, cuz. What's going on, fellas? Been drafting teams.
Hey, what is it about? Doesn't it feel like we're even more hungry this year than in the past? And why is that?
I feel like I'm just so excited about some of these players. You know, I was sitting thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, what about my takes is going to go wrong? Because I feel like everything is right. I feel great. I feel positive. I feel like, oh, we nailed it. We're going to crush it this year. Nothing could go wrong. And of course, that's that feeling, kickoff eve, that all changes on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the greatest, man.
Yeah.
Kickoff eve, man. It's a special feeling. All right, so VG's got a draft. I know other people have drafts today. Like, this is a big deal. This is a great draft day tonight. So what advice do you have? Now, you've done probably between your best ball drafts, your other drafts, you got to be what? You probably drafted this thing 300 times?
I'm in the hundreds, cuz I know what player goes and what pick exactly. I'm dialed in. And VG, we're going to help you for tonight's draft.
What do you got?
I'm trying to see where I draft. I draft
position?
I draft fifth.
Fifth.
Okay. Great starting spot.
12 teams PPR.
12 team full PPR. So my prescription.
Oh, actually half PPR.
Even better. Even better.
I love it. The Geek's got an answer. Even better. Even
better. Because what I'm going to tell you to do is even more correct in half PPR than full PPR. I want you to come out of the first 2 rounds of this draft with 2 running backs on your team. We're not going to get tempted. We're not going to get sucked in, because this season, the wide receiver talent in rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6 is spectacular. We're not worried about those guys. A lot of great guys. Who I am worried about are running backs that you're getting after round 2. 3 is okay. When we start to get to round 4, I'm going to give you the names. And you're not going to want these guys. Kenny Walker, injury risk, has a good backup on the team. Don't like it. You got Alvin Kamara. Why am I taking a running back on the worst team in the NFL? That is craziness. Right, cuz? You know what? What are the Saints not doing this year? They're not winning.
And they're not scoring.
They're not scoring touchdowns. They're not giving me the tutties.
Not with that quarterback.
Correct.
The Rattler. I'd rather get bit by a Rattler than watch him
good.
play.
Yeah, we don't want any of that. So you got to get your running backs in there early. From pick 5, you're looking maybe at Saquon. Possible. Actually, in the Philly league, no way.
No way. I was going to say, he's going 1 or 2 in every other league I've been in.
But you could get Christian McCaffrey there. I don't mind it because I'm okay with it.
I don't touch him with those injuries,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
How would you rank the backs?
So for me, I've got it Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs, McCaffrey, and then we got Derrick Henry and Chase Brown and Bucky Maybe I skipped a name there.
What about Genty?
And Ashton Genty after that group. Listen, the rookie, I like the rookie. I don't mind him in the second round. But if you could get Chase Brown in round 2 or Bucky Irving in round 2 of that draft, or maybe a Josh Jacobs, that's the way I want to go in round 2. In round 1, whatever the best of those running backs that fall to you, that's how I'm doing it. And
so you don't worry about McCaffrey. It's interesting because, man, I still remember there was a snow game. It was like a Monday night. They were on the road and he just makes a turn, and then that was it. He was down in a heap. That's the last thing that I would want is having him on my squad.
The upside is so massive, but you might get Jahmyr Gibbs in that spot anyway. If you wanted to get a little crazy, you could go Derrick Henry there. My thing with McCaffrey is I'm just going to make sure I back him up with Brian Robinson Jr. at this point.
Okay.
And so worst case, I still get San Francisco running back, and that is a good thing to have on your team. So I want McCaffrey. I want him healthy. If you do that pick, you need Brian Robinson Jr. It's in about round 10 that you got to take him because your knucklehead league mate doesn't even know he was traded and isn't a starter. He shows up in ADP a little higher than he should. So you got to pay up a little bit for Robinson Jr., but that's how I back that one up if I go that route.
Let me ask you, I forgot to mention it. So there's 2 keepers. I have Nico Collins and Kieran Williams. Would that change your approach?
I mean, that you have Kyron does help, and maybe you don't need that, but I still think you want 3 running backs on that squad. So I'd still do the same. And by the way, with the keepers, it's going to mess with who's available to you. Yeah. So I think those guys will be there because they were like round 1 picks last year, depending on how your keepers work. So they should still be there for you. So you should be okay with those kind of names, those older veterans. Just pushing it forward here in rounds 3 and 4. When you start that way in these kind of leagues, I don't mind taking a luxury quarterback or tight end in round 3 in this kind of a league. So in round 3, you get to round 3, you got your 2 running backs in there, right? In round 3, you're looking at maybe George Kittle. He's still here, still available. That's an interesting one on that team with a lot of injured wide receivers. Bowers and Trey McBride will be gone at that point. Or you could a little Jalen. Don't mind going into a season with Jalen Hurts at the helm. Maybe Lamar or Josh Allen are still there with your round 3 pick as well. So
you go running back QB before the receivers.
Running back. Then I consider tight end or QB. I call that luxury pick. Right. Never both, only one. If you take one, you cannot take the other. So like the minute you take a tight end a little earlier than, round 7 or 8, you forget about quarterback. Now we're dealing with one of the last quarterbacks off the board.
Right.
Similarly, if you take a quarterback there, you just say, all right, tight end, push him to the back. We're going to worry about that later. And then you're going to hammer wide receivers rounds 4, 5, and 6 to fill out the team.
Do you think it's better? Do you think there's more upside with a better quarterback than a better tight end?
It depends on the league, and in the skinniest leagues, in like a 10-team league, I'm going to favor quarterback in that spot. In the 12-teamer, I don't even mind avoiding both. So I don't mind waiting on both positions. I just say a lot of people want to have a luxury. I call that a luxury in your lineup. Just only do one is really what I'm warning. Don't do 2. Hey, if George Kittle's there, let's say you go wide receiver round 3. Just hey, you know what? Somebody good is there. Mike Evans or Devontae Adams, Jackson Smith and Jigba. T. Higgins falls to there, or somebody that you like. That's cool. Round 4, again, if a George Kittle is still hanging around, I'm on it. If it's after the top 3 tight ends, I don't care. There's no difference between TE4 and TE7, 8, 9, 10. They're the same guy. I don't know who's better. Good luck with figuring that one out. Like Laporta, is he really better than Njoku for fantasy scoring?
Right.
I don't know. Right, I don't think so. So after those first 3, I don't care. There's no edge at all to tight end.
You'll dig this. I don't know. This is a breakdown of grid. I did a 16-teamer pen and paper last night.
Oh, that is intense. Pen and
Once you
paper
get to the last picks of a 16-teamer.
16
That's where you're starting Blake Corum, and you're like, all right.
Yes, he was definitely picked. I'm the booze hounds.
You got this team.
I got Gibbs at 6. Yeah, and it's a standard TD with just minimal bonuses.
Then he went Bo Nix.
Ooh,
yeah, that's bad.
There's
No.
And then Kenneth Walker.
I don't like Kenneth Walker, but I had to. I need a running back.
Pacheco.
I need a running backs.
Cortland Sutton.
Dude,
Ew.
it's a 16-teamer. It's tough out there.
Oh my God, his team stinks. Matthew Golden, I like him, but you took
He's not
him too
bad.
Ollie Gordon.
Could be
Keon
interesting.
Coleman, Cam Ward, the charge. Oh,
Dude, it's tough. 16-teamers are tough, man.
yeah, but you blew your second round. You can't go Bo Nix. No wonder why you're all Denvered up.
Now, had we spoken before that draft,
Oh, I love Sean Payton. He
in a
took Bo
16
Nix, the second round pick.
there's never a time not
That's
to
like
take
pick 34.
an early quarterback. That is a terrible pick. There's never a better time to avoid early quarterback than in a deeper, bigger league. Like in that league, my quarterback is probably my starter is probably Joe Flacco. Like I'm waiting. I'm waiting till the end.
Well, that's why you're the
last-
geek and I'm the dope.
I'm waiting, but we had to talk. We had to have that conversation before.
Well, what will happen is tonight, I'm going to give you the geek's number.
Oh, yeah.
All right? And this way, let the geek be your
Just pick for me.
your beard.
I would love
you're
to
gonna
do this.
All right, let me give you another one. If the quarterback's name isn't, if the quarterback doesn't have legs, and we know who got the legs, if he's not a runner, if his name's not Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts or somebody that got or Lamar or Josh Allen, you are not taking that guy until the very end of the run of quarterbacks. Forget it. Just take Caleb. Just take even Trevor Lawrence is okay. Just grab Justin Fields if you need to. Anybody in that, you know what? I'll say the hated name, but I don't think this guy's going to be bad. Dak Prescott could be a
Well,
decent,
no, because they don't have a running game. And,
Yeah.
and right. Yeah.
Speaking of that team, the hated team, the other guy that I don't mind very late in your draft, where everybody hates this guy, is Javonte Williams. Like, I get it. We all get an ick. We get the ladies' ick when we hear his name, Javonte. I don't know why. Everyone's like, ugh.
Well, because
Javonte.
he should have been good. And, he had a knee. So, that kind of derailed him.
I think we were I think he was set up last year for success and he didn't have it. And so we're all
Because of the knee
disappointed.
injury. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the knee, the recovery, and also but I also think the Broncos played their running backs a little weird. They never gave him more than 50% of the snaps. They worked in multiple guys. It might have been a Broncos thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I know is Dallas doesn't have anything going on at running back. Nothing. They have no backup to this guy. It's garbage over there. So even just by force of volume, I can't see why Javonte should go in round 11 after backups. Backup running backs go ahead of this guy.
Right.
It's weird.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like that. So I'm grabbing him.
All right. Geek, hit us with some like who to play targets, your favorite targets from this week 1. So quarterback,
so-
like we always do. QB.
Yeah, let's get into
Yeah.
a little DFS week 1 and who to play in your lineups. Excited about the Monday main slate. There's a lot of value on the board in week 1. And so if we're looking at the DFS sites, they just kind of priced everybody cheap, made it fun, made it easy. It's an easy week. You can play whoever you want. So there's some standouts, some guys who are popping. It's more from a value perspective at running back. I like Devon Achane. I like Achane. If he's healthy and he's healthy with Tua, there's a long history of every single time those two guys play together, Achane puts up a 25 plus. So give me some Achane. I'll go right back to McCaffrey. The worries about McCaffrey's injuries have nothing to do with a 1-game sample size, right? We're worried, this guy might not last the year. Don't care. All I care about on a 1-game sample, you give me McCaffrey for like the cheapest he's ever been on DFS sites ever. In a 1-game sample on a team that's lacking other weapons and are forced to run the offense through him. I love Christian McCaffrey. Week 1, there's Joe Burrow's got an exciting game at Cleveland. Flacco out there slinging it, just doesn't care. I love it because Flacco's like a 41-year-old guy who can't even believe that he still gets to play football. He's having so much fun. He throws it into. I don't care. I'm going back out and slinging it. I'm slinging it.
Yeah, he's great. He lives
fun out here.
He lives here. He from where we sit. He probably lives a half hour away, 25 minutes.
Really? Oh, nice. Legend.
Yeah, he's
Pennsylvania.
a good dude. Anybody else you like quarterback wise?
Yeah, of course. So, in week one at the high end, Burrow is exciting. Jaden Daniels in that matchup at home against the Giants is interesting. You've got Baker Mayfield. Let's not forget Baker, the touchdown maker, coming out here. With Baker, it's really easy because with Godwin on the shelf, we've got an underpriced Emeka Ikbuka who lit it up in their training camp this year, the rookie wide receiver. I'm obsessed with him. And then Mike Evans coming back for another 1,000-yard season to chalk on to notch into the old belt. So it's an easy combo with Baker and those two wide receivers in week one at the high end. And if we want to get cute and kind of mess around with some of the lower end names, the surprising ones, a couple of names that pop for me. First, Drake May. He's interesting. He's interesting in week one. The coach is talking about we need to get more designed runs for Drake May. When Drake May came out of college, I compared him to Josh Allen. He's a similar style player. I don't think people
I agree.
Absolutely know this. And he's got run. He's got legs in him.
Drake.
Love the Drake.
Got Stephon Diggs, healthy Diggs there. So I'm interested a little bit in Drake May week one. I don't know who the second and third wide receiver is definitely going to be. Like I Pop Douglas over there. They got a rookie Kyle Williams. I'm not really sure what they're going to do with all of that. And no one is. We'll find out. My sneakiest of them all. You'll hate this one. This is the one you might want to shut me down. But my sneakiest interest in week one is Daniel Jones playing. I know. There it is. That's the face I want. That's how I win $1 million. Daniel Jones.
That's a good flex, Geek.
Well, that's you don't win the million playing the guy everybody likes. You got to be crazy and do something insane, and that's what Daniel Jones is, because the guy runs with the ball. Like he's put up 30-point scores in his career.
Yeah, I have this weird feeling that he's going to have a good year. I got a weird feeling. I hate Daniel Jones, right? I think he stinks, but I have this weird feeling that he's actually going to play. He's got a running back. He's got great receivers.
Acceptable receivers. I'm not going to call those guys.
Okay, well, I love Pittman. I'm a Pittman fan as a player. I don't know about as a fantasy guy, but as a player, and opposite him is what you call it?
Downs is over there.
Yeah, I like Josh Downs.
I'm actually, who lit it up in training camp for the Colts? Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, I can see that.
Could be interesting. So no one's going to be on that. That's why I mentioned the crazy one, the silly. I call it the silly for the Millie play, right?
Silly for the Millie. That's great.
Getting silly over here. So a little Daniel Jones in your mix in tournaments for like big upside in daily fantasy this week. I have one more thing for all of these.
Now, if you play Daniel Jones, you stack him with who? Pittman and Downs?
It could be Warren, the rookie tight end as well, but any one of those guys. We got to find out who's playing. Pittman's been banged up a little bit, not sure he's going to play. Josh Downs got a Q tag going on as well. So we got to see kind of who the WR1 will be over there. But by all camp reports, it seems like the rookie tight end, and I don't love rookie tight ends in their first game. That's usually not a good recipe for anything. But Tyler Warren is looking like
he's a stud. No, Tyler Warren's a stud. Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah, between him and Colston Loveland, it looks like with both first-round tight ends this year, it definitely looks like Warren is that guy that could be, the next. Yeah, everybody wants to be the next Gronk, Kelsey, marry a pop star and have a great life.
So Geek, that's one of our questions from listener Peeling Onions. Is Tyler Warren worth being your only tight end pick?
I don't mind it. And by the way, only tight end, yes, I'm cool with him being a TE1 pick for somebody. But certainly, if there's a problem, you could always waivers. There are plenty of tight ends on the waivers. There's always going to be. Even there's guys who are free. Brenton Strong from the Jaguars will just be available. Ferguson from the Cowboys are generally just floating around on waivers if you need them. So yeah, I don't mind Warren in round one. And if you kind of see first couple weeks he's not doing anything, all right, pivot. You're not going to go wrong on your draft that way. That's why I always say taking an early tight end is just a luxury pick. You don't need to do it. You can just pick one up at any point. What you need are running backs that are healthy and are smashing on your team and putting up touchdowns. That's
All
what
right.
you need. And you could always trade a tight end. If I have an extra running back on my fantasy roster, that's gold. Like somebody else is getting injured on other teams, and I'm going to trade that running back for an upgraded quarterback. So there's never a time when I feel like I have too many awesome running backs. Other positions, what I do feel is regret when I don't take one and I end up with a great tight end or something else, and then my running back gets hurt and I got nothing. Because I can always replace the tight end. There's no running backs available later. And with the wide receiver group, again, it's just they're really good. The third, fourth, fifth round ones are really, really good this year, which allows us that luxury of just saying, you know what, let me get my running backs early in there.
All right, we are in overtime. OT with the Geek. That's right. Overtime with the Geek on the Xfinity guest line. Don't forget, the Geek has the Sharp app. He has his own app. Of course, the Geek would need his own app, and it's ridiculously incredible. He has a website called DFS Army, which is awesome. Gets you set for all your fantasy stuff, props. I mean, you name it. He's all about the game script and the props and everything, the overs and unders. He's right there. You got it all, Geek.
We're doing it all here because it's it gets busy in the basement in the off season. The typewriter was smoking.
Who do you like? You didn't get finished. Any sleepers? Any running back sleepers for this weekend to play? Any matchups stand out to you?
I mean, there's definitely some. Well, a little. Well, I'll give a second piece of fantasy advice because this is like on your fantasy football roster. This is important. We're the day before kickoff, and a lot of people work their bench incorrectly. So I'm going to kind of take you through what the correct way to deal with your fantasy bench is. So you've got your starters filled out on your team. Everybody's good. I've got a couple of my first two bench spots really should be true backups. I need an extra wide receiver. I got Marvin Mims Jr. All right, cool. I'll stash him on the bench. That's the kind of player is Cedric Tillman. I got him. Fine. On my bench, right? I've got a backup running back maybe that's actually a starter. I got Javonte Williams on my bench. Starts, not going to play. Not playing him, but I got a starter in there. From there, what I like to do is load up my bench with backup, specifically running backs that have a chance to elevate into starting. People don't do this, and they should. There's no point in holding a second backup wide receiver. Whoever that guy is, he's probably terrible, right? I don't have anybody good. I'm never going to be happy starting him, and he stinks. So why is he even on my bench? I don't need, I'm trying to think of a name without being too, I'm not even going to say a name. I'm just saying I don't need Romeo Doubs on my bench, okay? Put him on the waivers. If I ever need him, he's still going to be there. He's not elevated. He's not going to all of a sudden be awesome. He's always going to be a guy that you're upset to have to start, but you do it. I don't need Quentin Johnston riding my bench, taking up space. No, thank you. Put him on waivers. Pick up guys who can actually elevate into your starting lineup if something happens. I'm talking names like DJ Giddens, the backup running back for the Colts that no one's ever heard of. Woody Marks, probably the backup running back for the Texans that no one's ever heard of. Across the board, all the spots, I want to grab those kind of names. Every team has a guy like this. That I mentioned Blake Corum. What we want to do is make sure that backup is actually the true backup on his team. Roshan Johnson on the he's not owned anywhere. Kendre Miller from the Saints. These guys they're on waivers. And here's what happens. The starter gets hurt. And now I've got to blow my whole fob the next week just to try to get this guy. I want him on. I don't want to blow the fob. I want the guy on my ready. And they're like, how'd you know he was going to get hurt? And I go, yeah, Nostradamus. No, I just put as many of these guys on my bench as I can. And I got lucky. Zach Charbonnet. If you have Kenny Walker and Zach Charbonnet is not on your bench, it's crazy. You must have your handcuffs as well.
See that? Don't blow the fob.
Make sure you get Charbonnet. You can blow the fob. The fob is how you win your league, cuz. Like a free agent pickup, I don't win based on my initial draft ever. I win because Jordan Mason all of a sudden is the starting running back for the 49ers now, and I have him, and now I rode basically a guy who I would have had to take in round 3, but I got him for free. And so my team has a material edge on every other team in the league because I picked up a starting guy who I'm playing in my RB2 spot or RB1 spot for free. That's the whole gist of how you win your fantasy football league. You got to guess right, but a lot of these names guys don't even know. I'm not even going to say the one from Philly, but on the Jets, Braylon Allen. Yeah, take Braylon, put him on your bench. Get him in there. Hold on to that. Roshan, I mentioned him. All those kind of names. Every Achane, Ollie Gordon. You mentioned Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon is a premier backup right now, right? If Achane goes down, Ollie Gordon is the only.
I don't know about your 4th pick on Ollie Gordon, but
that's a bit. I don't want to start him this week. I mean, that's a bit much.
Sounds like a guy who never picked a 16 team. There's no running backs in round 5, dude. Hey, Sammy from the UK Sixers he needs some flex help. He's got Kirk, Tracy, or Tillman.
I mean, I love Tillman week 1. It's hard to get away from it, but Tyrone Tracy is the starting running back on his team. I'm going with Tyrone in that spot if that's my league. But I'm excited about what Tillman can do week 1, but I'm still going with Tracy.
Cool. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, brother. This is great to have you back. Each week we'll talk to you, get geeked up. The Geek
Let's go.
means football's back, baby.
Love it.
Who you like tomorrow night?
Guys. Hell yeah. Oh, big game tomorrow night. Oh, I need a parlay. I need an SGP for tomorrow night. What do you got for me, guys?
He's got Cowboys minus 19.5.
Eagles minus.
Eagles minus 19. My bad.
Eagles minus. Double. Extend that spread.
We like Saquon over 96.5.
Yeah, I like Saquon over yards.
Saquon to get a touchdown minus 180.
Yeah, I would put that in there.
Put that in there.
Definitely.
You think? Because I think if they get short yardage, they're going to want to stick it to the NFL on opening night and do the push.
Yeah, but he'll score from. He might score from.
Yeah, he might score from 65.
Yeah.
They're
he's all over the field, right? Yeah. So, but Jalen's the same. What's Jalen score touchdown? Like 240?
It's not quite that high. Jalen touchdown anytime minus 150. Barkley's minus 180. So Barkley got a little more, but Jalen got that touchdown.
I would put Jalen in there. I would put Jalen in there.
Jalen in. And Eagles the pizza bet taking the minus 15, minus 18. Oh, I love it.
19.5.
19.5.
This is basically a shutout, is what you're predicting in this game. A 24-0 rout.
Well, put it this way: the line's 8.5. It went up. We were talking about it, 13.5. Because I think they're going to win by 2 scores, right? Like so, anywhere from that 13 to 24 is where you're going to win. The margin will be anywhere from 13 to 24.
I love it. Love the call. And parlaying. If they're up by 13 or any amount like that to 24, Barkley and Hurts have scored in that version of the game.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. They're not throwing it. Who's not scoring in that version? Any of the wide receivers, because they didn't need them. They only throw it when they need. Yeah. So that would be the
I can see an AJ, give AJ some love. But listen, the bulk of their touchdowns is Barkley and Hurts. That's not going to change.
You know what's funny in the offseason for fantasy? Barkley started out the lock button, RB1, first pick in every draft. And what happened is the fantasy analysts all just talked their mouths, yapped away, and convinced themselves that, Barkley was an anomaly and he can't repeat what he did. And, we got to anoint a new name and this and that. The whole offseason, I'm like, what are you guys talking? Did you not see the hurdle?
No.
Did you not see the hurdle?
No, they're stupid. I don't want to hear it. Dude, stop. The regression, all this other stuff. Guy, 2,000 yards. What are you, nuts?
Didn't they see the hurdle?
Regression is going to be 1,700 yards if it's anything.
Regression. They didn't see the hurdle. No, there's an argument that says, well,
there's a cute word they love. Regression.
Touchdown regression.
Jaden Daniels, regression. Barkley, regression. Okay. Everything's a freaking number based off of numbers.
No, Barkley had so many carries. No one has ever had 500 touches and repeated. Get out of here.
Yeah. Get out of here. Listen, Geek, best to the girls. All right. How's your family?
Oh, the family's great. How are the boys? Crushing football, baseball. I have something to talk to you about afterwards. An interesting thing for your boys.
Okay, cool. Let me know. Yeah, look forward to it. We love you, Geek. Great to have you back, buddy.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. See you next time.
There he is, Geekus.
He's humongous.
Geekus Aurelius.
We talked about Jello. I haven't thought about Jello in forever. You haven't done a Jello shot lately?
No.
Have you
Jell-O
ever?
shot?
Have you ever done a Jello shot?
I've done it, but I've just out of
lately.
No.
My dad's staple go-to when he makes dinner is Jello for dessert.
Yeah.
Anytime he makes dinner, it's either green, red, or like orange Jello.
Yeah, the Jello. That was a big deal. The Jello.
Yeah, with the whipped cream.
Yes. The Ready Whip.
The Ready Whip. Yeah.
You'd spray it.
Oh yeah.
That was that was like back. I haven't thought about Jello since I was 13 years old.
Yeah. Squishing it through your teeth. You ever do that? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about it last weekend at the club. Did a Jello shot.
You do Jello shots in the club?
Sometimes.
Ah, a little waste.
Really?
Jello shot.
Jello shot.
Yeah.
It's a freaking grown man. You doing Jello shots as a grown man?
He loves to party,
That's a
man.
violation,
He's a
dude.
partier.
Come on,
No, but it's a violation. Like
they got one of the servers make some extra money peddling Jello shots. You do a Jello shot.
There's no clean way to do it. You either gotta like put your finger in it, or you gotta stick your tongue in there.
Squish it and shoot it.
Yeah, but then it gets all mushed in there, and then you gotta like tongue it out.
Tongue it out. All right. So I got some housekeeping to do.
Joe, you do a lot of
Didn't mean it that
Jello
way,
shots.
It depends. If it's one of those nights.
Yes.
Thursday seems like it might be one of those nights.
Jello shot there. No, I can see that. But my man, like on a regular night, like
Saturday night at the club.
At the club. What club
What
you
club
go?
you go to?
I mean, it's in Center City.
You go to gentlemen's clubs?
Maybe. So I got some housekeeping I got to take care of. For those of us who went to North Catholic, who do not have great English education, Anthony mentioned agog yesterday. I had to look it up. It means you're very eager or curious to hear or see something. So I just didn't want anyone to feel left out if they're illiterate like I am. And I got a question from the boys at the bar.
Boys at the bar. I love the.
This
boys
would be
at
a
the
fun
bar.
one.
Yeah.
Boys at the bar. Boys at the bar. It's a question from the boys at the bar.
Is that really the crew?
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the boys
It's,
at the bar.
Taylor, Riley, Alec, and Hannah.
And what bar is this?
They're at the New Wave. All right, they want to know who is one Philly celebrity that Cuz would want to watch the Birds with?
Wow, that's a great question.
Ooh.
Local celebrity.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a great question.
It can't be someone too talkative.
Correct. So who is a rabid Birds fan? You got Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller.
Kevin
Mike
Hart.
Trout. Mike Trout.
That's your pick.
Yeah, I'm a Troutsman. Who else will be?
Kevin Hart.
I'm out, Kevin Hart. I think he's Fugazi.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an Eagle fan. He's like a convenient Eagle fan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about real Eagle fan. Like, God rest his soul. Kobe was a real Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
I love Kelsey. Yeah, Kelsey. BG. Stay tuned to the Eagles show because Brandon Graham will be on it.
Nice. All right, who is it?
No, it's a great question.
We gotta figure it out.
Am I missing anybody? Who am I missing?
I'm looking up famous Eagles
Vince
fans right
Papale.
now.
Well, he's not really. He's not in that realm.
Skinny
All right.
Joey.
Will Smith.
Nah, I'm out of Will Smith.
Tina Fey.
Nah,
Pink.
nah.
Rocky himself.
Slide.
To be honest with you, I would have interest in that.
Rob McElhenney.
I love him. I love Rob.
Meek Mill.
Yeah.
Diplo.
I know Diplo's. I met him.
He's
the
a
other
Temple
day.
guy too.
Wow, I didn't know Bob Saget was a Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw Diplo in Big Dom's office a couple weeks ago.
Questlove.
Not understood who he was. The best is, like, I know who he is.
Yes.
I didn't know to say him.
Yes.
So Big Dom goes, I didn't know. He said something about, something about ordering macaroni. Diplo.
Diplo's got a great little venue, like a block and a half from here, called Philomoka, Philadelphia Museum of Contemporary Art.
Yeah, he was
whatever.
talking about it.
Yeah, they have great bands there.
Big Farts Jones says the Fanatic in costume.
No, I love that.
Carl Lewis.
All right, I don't know.
Give us a name.
I don't know.
Oh, David Boreanaz,
Yeah,
friend of the show.
He's our man.
I think it's got to be. I think you're a Trout.
I'm a Trout guy. Yeah.
You wouldn't even have to drive far. You guys go over each other's house.
Yeah.
Monica Hill.
I would. The only way I would go Bradley Cooper is to pitch him a script.
Just what he wants.
Halftime. No, be Coop. I got this. I got this script.
Quick, easy read. You get through it at halftime.
Yeah. Other than that, Trout.
All right.
I'm a big Trout fan. That's a great question.
Thanks, boys at the bar. I'm gonna go back in the day.
Yeah, let's do it. Back.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with True Mark. Oh, yeah.
I'll try and keep our theme going. We'll go back. There's a little Dick Vermeil talking about the Eagles-Cowboys. Little rivalry.
Always felt if you could beat Dallas, then you could beat anybody. I was always intimidated by Tom Landry. I didn't think I belonged standing next to him. The rivalry, we set them up to be the kingpin of the National Football League, let alone our conference. Going to the Super Bowl is one thing. It's a great thing. But beating Dallas to go to the Super Bowl made it even bigger here in Philadelphia.
Let the celebration begin.
The job that Doug Peterson did to win the Super Bowl is the finest coaching job that's ever been done here in Philadelphia.
We're going down to Dallas. We're going to win that football game. And when we do, we're in first place in the NFC East. We're right where we need to be.
I was sitting here eating breakfast when I heard Doug make that statement. I said to myself, oh boy, Doug, that's going to fire up the city and Dallas all week long. I think what makes the Eagle-Cowboy rivalry so special is, number one, the history, and number two, the two cities. The fans, they love their football. It's extremely important to them. Beating Dallas might be the most important thing here in Philadelphia.
So I will say that promo
really cool.
was before.
That's a great
That was
promo.
before this year's with Nick.
Yeah. No, I got that. And listen, it's a great promo. The only thing is, the Cowboys were different in that era, right? Like Vermeil leading through the 90s. It was a different, like this version. Like, I'm more excited about the Eagles being back than the fact it's the Cowboys. It's just like, I almost feel like I love it, but I can see where, I think you said this, VG, that it's almost a waste to have them on the opening week.
I mean, I'd rather see them beat up the Chiefs again on opening week.
Right.
Yeah, for me. That would be great. But the banner in perspective.
No, it's cool. No, I love it. What I loved all along, we'll get into tomorrow, which is we're raising the banner in their face.
Yes.
Like, thank you. Thanks, God.
And if you want to, there's a quote, Brian Schottenheimer talking to his club. He said, every game we play is another championship opportunity. You don't get any extra credit for beating the Eagles on prime time. It's the same as beating the Giants at AT&T at noon.
Okay.
Is he really going to fire his club up with that kind of talk?
Wow.
Spoken like a true Schottenheimer.
Wow.
You know what he is?
Mediocre.
He's a Jello Schottenheimer.
Yes, he is.
That's what he is. That's right. All right, that's going to do it for us. Andrew, great job. Joey, great to have you back. All right, everybody, have a great day. We love you. We'll see you for game day.
We all silly like the mayor.